Countdown to ban.
And Koipa's like 6'5".
It's a pretty massive difference, yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny. No, not making fun of Insania. He's a great guy.
He is an excellent guy.
Tall either.
In fact, he was nice enough to offer to have Blitz play and have Insania cast instead, which I think it would have been better entertainment for all of us, personally.
Are you saying that because we could laugh at Blitz, or are you saying that because Alliance could use any help they can get?
And also that Insania is a great caster. All three, it's like win-win-win.
Very true.
You know? Well, does Alliance really need the help, though, Brian? They seem to put up a pretty good fight in their first series.
Yeah, I'm just nervous a bit about their drafting. Okay. Obviously, S4 is new to it, and I expect it to come around relatively quickly. But they basically donated a game last series. Alliance did. Their
the very first game,
yeah,
right?
10th pick Mirana ended up losing its lane, and
well, Liquid apparently feel like it's a problem, or maybe they're giving
I think they're picking
S4 a
Phoenix.
helping hand.
I think they're also going to pick Phoenix based on that. I don't think just ban Mirana because they were willing to 10th pick it. I'm pretty sure you ban Mirana because it's really good against Phoenix, and that's what you intend to pick.
But Phoenix, to me, was the most nerfed hero of this patch.
Because of the regen stuff, or what?
The Fire Spirit damage.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's 25% less damage at level 1.
How long does Fire Spirits last for? 4 seconds?
4 seconds.
4 seconds. So
it's 20 less damage.
It goes from 80 to 60. I mean, any hero, if you read the patch notes and said their level 1 ability goes from 80 to 60, that's significant.
It's to me, it was the biggest nerf of the patch, and I mean, obviously Phoenix has been seen a lot, but
it's true.
It was a hard nerf.
The big thing about that too is I remember when Doom Scorched Earth got the same treatment. It went from 20 to 15, and I'm like, it's not that bad. Then you play it out in the lane, you're like, okay, that guy lived with 30 health after I Scorched Earthed them for the entire duration, and that feels bad. So you definitely, I just say it makes certain matchups worse. Obviously, you don't feel it once you're max level. The 20 damage per Fire Spirit at max level doesn't really matter, but
worse in this patch, especially, right? Because the laning phase seems to matter so much.
Yeah, and I also think that because Grimstroke and Caudle have proven to be so good, mainly Grimstroke now because they didn't even get touched, it does go down in value to pick Phoenix, because that fine line between which one is #1 priority, it's very fine. You know, Grimstroke, I think, is going to be top dog potentially now, with all things said and done.
Well, what else are we going to be seeing from Team Liquid? You said Phoenix because of the Mirana ban. They also banned the Clockwork. Guess that nerf wasn't strong enough.
Mars still in the pool.
Oh, Shadow Demon's still too. I forgot about that. They didn't touch that hero either. DP's been giving up every game today, at least if I remember correctly. Last 2 games of that series, we saw a Death Prophet picked. No bans coming out for that. So
that would be probably the second hardest nerf that we saw on this patch.
2 base damage and the Ags? Anything else they did?
And I think Blitz was saying the Spirit Siphon mana cost increase.
Oh, yeah, by 10, yeah. So they do the Phoenix. Not necessarily saying we agree with it because of the nerfs, but I would say this was very telegraphed by a Mirana ban. Otherwise, that ban made absolutely no sense to me. And let's see what Alliance has in response. Most likely going to deny the Mars, I would imagine.
That makes sense.
Pretty damn good combo. So Grimstroke Mars is, as a, mediocre amateur drafter myself, I would say that's what I would be going for here. But maybe S4 will mix it up for us.
Do you think Snapfire has any warrant still against the Phoenix? We've seen that matchup many times. It's not good enough, right?
Yeah. I'd just rather have something else. I don't know.
True.
Stronger 5.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Basically, I don't think it's good in idealistic scenarios, but it doesn't work. It's good in theory, not so great in practice. You have to put yourself really far out of position to get to the egg, and you're a support, so it's not that hard to just kill you when you walk in.
5 seconds. It's dire.
I've been waiting for the Dark Willow to eventually show up in the Mars, but it's not going to be here.
Not a Chen fan. We've all been haters of the Chen.
Yeah.
Has it won in front of us in the last 4 days? I don't think I remember.
It has a really low win rate. Yeah. I know that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen 1, but that's the thing. It's like, I remember it winning, but and I also remember it losing
a lot more
6 or 7 times for that 1 win, so.
It really is the Darkseer this patch for me from a year ago. People kept picking Darkseer, kept losing, and I didn't like this team group up or a hero. It just seems underwhelming for what it does. Especially in a headdress heavy meta. And hear me out, I love this hero. Bristleback is really good against heroes like Chen. You just don't. You just put yourself in front of the wall, or in front of the tower, and you are a wall. Like you can't push and group up with Chen into Bristleback, and at least in the early to mid game, all the counters to Bristleback are ones that scale. You know, eventually you threaten this Bristleback. So for like 15 minutes of the game, for the viewers at home understanding why they picked this Bristleback first round, watch them try to push with Chen, watch them try to force the issue, and back he's just going to be in front of that tower. He's going to be pushing some W, and that's his job in this game early.
I think you generally will find a good lane somewhere because Bristle can play any of the 3 core lanes.
And yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to find a good matchup. The hero doesn't have too many terrible laning matchups anyways to begin with.
I thought we agreed, though, Brian, that the last Bristleback game that we watched, I remember we came to the conclusion that we should not be picking Bristleback in the first one, too.
I think this specific pick is okay because you already see a decent lane matchup against the against the Mars.
Okay.
I think even though you go probably Buckler on Mars, you're still only 4 armor at that point, and I think the thing about Bristleback is he just needs a specific purpose in the game that I was upset about him being first rounded. They just picked it, and they're like, yeah, but with the Chen already picked, I see the purpose of Bristleback. So even if it doesn't scale all that well, it will do its job, and the rest of your draft doesn't have to worry at all about these early mid-game pushes. You can simply draft for the rest of the game and for the rest of your own strategy, like including, you know, amping up the team fight from Phoenix, maybe with Axe, I think stands out to me. Alliance might look to ban that. That's like the other hero that has been paired with the Phoenix. Bristleback is not glued into being a offlaner at all, even though that's mostly what he's always been known to be. And Void Spirit doesn't hit the egg, but I'd imagine you'd be okay to lane Bristle mid against the Void Spirit. It does taunt you, the Remnant. It's kind of annoying to play against. It turns you around.
Here's your support to help enable the Bristle. You know, Insania loves to play the Crystal Maiden, but
Budget Coddle.
Yes, Budget Coddle. And Coddle was, banned out, of course, so not available.
And a point-and-click instant disable against Void Spirit. Never going to say no to that.
But it's still a CM.
Chen creeps too.
CM is not the most impressive hero right now, I feel. But this is theoretically the CM game. Yeah. You're playing against the Chen. You mentioned the instant disable. You've got the aura for the Bristle. This is the kind of scenario you want to be picking CM in.
Oh, baby. Except it's always a support, and I always get upset that it's a support.
And it's going to be a support, right?
Yeah.
Very, very likely.
I actually laned Bristle offlane against Bounty Hunter support yesterday, and that was really annoying, surprisingly. I was just trying to cut creeps, and he's just yoinking me off cooldown. I'm like, well, that's annoying. That was, he has pretty high armor, so he doesn't really mind getting quill sprayed. I believe 7 base armor on Bounty Hunter. So in the support role, most supports do not have good armor, other than like ogres and stuff. It does really synergize with their pace that Alliance seems to be planning, but as of now, the real only way to start the fight is like Ether Remnant into Spear, and we'll just have to see if they look to pad that ability in their game plan with their last pick overall. Storm Spirit, I hate playing in Storm as Mars personally. I think it's really hard to ever spear him, and you can't really play the map on like half health ever, so you have to be topped off all the time. You have to go hood almost every time. A lot of problems for them to address on the side of Alliance, but also we've seen tons of Storms run into damage issues, and once we get that pipe on Mars, the mech on Chen, that may be an issue for them moving forward.
And Bristle's not a hero that dishes out a lot of damage, at least not immediately.
Hyper, it's either super early or like super late game is when Bristle starts to do a lot of damage.
So like you say, when Mars gets the hood, has some you get the Vlads, you tank up a little bit. There's going to be some mid-game damage problems for Liquid, at least with the heroes they have right now.
You know what I don't like about the Bounty Hunter pick is that we already knew it was going to be a support, and this is what we've been talking about for teams that have second pick. The better drafters will disguise what their lineup is, but as you go down the line, you pretty much know what every single hero. Mars is going to be off lane. We know that Chen's going to be the support. Once the Void Spirit is picked up with the Mars, that means it has to be mid. Bounty Hunter, same thing.
Carry, but unlikely.
Yeah. Just feels like we don't have that element of surprise.
Unlike Bristleback, where it could have been all 3 core roles.
Yeah.
It set up nicely because then they can really take advantage of having first pick and get where you're getting every counter pick in the second phase, because it was such a good Storm game. And I think Alliance knew it's coming, but they could only ban one of Ember or Storm. There's no real disables or lockdown for Storm. You've got a good lane matchup against the Void Spirit, and it's Koikba. He loves the hero, so definitely something that Alliance probably saw coming, but just couldn't prevent happening.
For me, it's always hard to know for a fact whether or not a draft is really good until you just see it come into fruition. And for the viewers at home, why we're expressing our skepticism of Alliance's drafting is the first series I really do feel like they lost mainly due to drafting. And S4 being new to this, I'm probably going to continue being skeptical until proven otherwise, and I'm glad to be. I obviously believe in S4 as a player, just new to the captain role. It just takes some growing pains. No big deal there. That's what types of online leagues like this are for, but it just... There's... The PPD said it well in his moments of brilliance where it's like, great captains, or good captains give you a win condition. Great captains just win you games off of drafts sometimes. And I think the first game he learned a lot, because since then I think their plans have had nice synergy, nice cohesion, but the fact is it seems pretty straightforward to draft against. You know, you see this one-to-one counter, you pick that, you see that, you pick that. Like in terms of very little stuns, you pick Storm. You see Chen group up, you pick Mars, or excuse me, you pick Bristleback. And now it looks like a safe lane Lone Druid? What are we?
Yeah, I could imagine probably Boxy's playing the Bristle as an offlaner.
Most likely, yeah. Huh?
And that theoretically puts Mickey on the Lone Druid safe lane. I mean, both usually you'd consider Lone Druid and Storm to both be the Koikba heroes, but
Mars is pretty annoying to play against Lone Druid.
We do know have a way to protect the egg, which is something that I think we're seriously lacking.
Good
so now
point.
we have the fear
I
to be
didn't
able to help
that.
with the egg, because before it was just single target disables, right? Storm and Crystal Maiden.
Storm Ags later on though.
True.
They will almost 100% build that too.
Yeah. Especially since the Storm isn't like the big carry.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that in the draft, so really good point there.
All right, well, what do we need to wrap this all up? It's got to be a hero that can get on top of Lone Druid and Storm Spirit, control them, still output good damage.
Normally excited to have 10th pick of the draft. It just feels like there's no perfect pick. Old Alliance might have gone for like the Nico Baby Void or something to try and give some lockdown against Storm, but it just doesn't feel like that gives them a very good rounded out draft.
Just don't be baited into Slark. Okay.
Fighting hero.
We got some bear on bear action.
A hero that can deal with the egg, can fight the Bristleback in the laning phase.
He really can't, if you ask me.
A little bit hard.
It's 4. If you actually look, like 4 patches ago, Ursa had 7 base armor, and now he's got 4. So the key to Bristleback is to just keep 2 or 3 cool spray stacks on him at times. You just spam mangoes, and if he has 2 on you, you just can't hit him as Ursa. We actually saw Bristleback beat Ursa in lane like 2 days ago, I believe.
That's true, and he doesn't even have a kill support, really.
Yeah.
He's got Chen. If he had some sort of slow, like Groomstroke to be able to work with some stun to go for it, then maybe it would be a different story.
It's more of like a mid-game thing, but I've played a lot of Ursa in a Lone Druid, and it seems good on paper because he's tanky, you hit him a lot, he dies. But eventually, you just get hit by this bear while you're trying to hit people, and it's super annoying, and you try to commit, and you get feared. I'm trying not to be biased or anything, but I do believe Team Liquid has a far superior draft here, but Alliance has fast pace, they have track kills, they have a lot of burst, so if they get off to a good start, they could just steamroll in the mid-game for sure.
Gods, how you feeling?
I'm feeling Liquid on this game.
Okay.
I think Brian's right with Alliance. They need a run of this game. I think particularly looking at Limp on the Void Spirit. Once you get your first item, your early levels, you need to run around the map making plays happen, because I don't think Alliance is going to outscale this Liquid draft for sure.
It's safe lane Storm, by the way, mid Lone Druid.
Okay.
All right, well, a lot of skepticism for Alliance here in this first game, but can S4 make believers of us all? One duo I do believe in, it's Grant and Blitz.
Indeed, here we are. Our Blitz, like we're back in our prime in 2008 when we were actually good casters, but now we got some Liquid, we got some Alliance, we've got a Run At You draft on one side, we've got a Lone Druid for Liquid, which every other team was banning before this. It should be a pretty crazy one, I think.
Yeah, both teams have aggressive lineups. Grant, I remember you saying you would do the yell.
No.
No? Now you're gonna back out?
I literally said I will do it. As you see, I won't yell at those. Liquid favored a Blitz. Going into this, I mean, I think most people would favor Liquid, right? Because Alliance, they're just straight up 2 new players on the team. I mean, S4 is not new, but 2 new to the team players. So just always at a disadvantage probably going into the first game.
Yeah, and it's spicy because any win for Alliance is going to be big, I feel like, for their mentality. Yeah. And every loss, everyone's just going to kind of flame the decision, right? That's kind of how it works.
That's always how it works, yeah. What are your thoughts on Nico Baby not playing this like end-all be-all core, right? We normally see him on these Spectres, on these TBs. He's playing an Ursa this game.
It looks like he feels as though he has to play fast in a game like this. And I don't know if there's any single carry here that out-carries Lone Druid, Bristle, and Stormster when you already have like Chen, Void Spirit, and Mars. So I think he just wants to play really fast with his team. And Nico Baby's a really, really good player. Like, he can play this kind of tempo if he needs to.
Yeah, we just don't get to see it as much as Taiga. He's getting beat down right now by Hansk in that middle lane. Looks like the runes will be stolen bottom by Radiant, so they are going to get a 3-for-1 rune to start it off on Alliance.
Yeah, I will say when you have Bounty Hunter too, you can't pick the greediest carry, because then you have 2 different heroes that can't fight.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter is not really a fighter in a traditional sense. He just kind of gives you move speed, and you hope that that's enough. Move speed and vision is enough to win fights.
Well, I'm looking at this. It looks like a tri-lane starting out bottom, but I believe Boxy saw that because he does ping out right when he went in Viz. He pings out Nico Baby as well. He's like, all right, something's a little bit fishy here.
I don't like the smell of this.
And he will get hit.
But I think it's mainly because they see S4 as S4 sees like a safe lane Storm. He's probably like, there's no way that I can die.
Yeah. And he will now get the TV from Bounty Hunter as he pops his last invis. As we've seen, all European Bounty Hunters, they like going for the level 1 Shadowhawk to get the extra damage, not that Janata that BSJ normally wants them to get, and, you know, support to core differences.
Yeah, no, BSJ is insane.
Yeah.
But a lot of harass coming out of this top lane. Insania doesn't actually have any more mangoes, so he's going to have to back up in Clarity, but he might actually just lose it instantly if he's not careful.
Eats the right tree and gets the good pathing. And look at that, even a tower head. He really realizes, like, if I hit that Clarity off, all of a sudden this lane is super weak, right? But now if Insania sits back, he gets 2 extra Novas as long as he doesn't get hit.
Level 1 Clarity now is super hyper efficient. Like, it used to be pretty bad, but now it's what, 6 mana regen a second for 30 seconds? That's really fast. And if he's not going to get either the range creeps looking like, Hanskin, and they've got to be careful here.
Insania did. Insania got one of them. He's like, I'll take that one. Storm misses the next, but they don't get him denied. Oh, the nuke comes out. S4 taking so much damage, and it is pushing into the tower. Now you have to decide, do we possibly want to dive? But they'll just heal and salve it up.
This lane is going better than I expected for Liquid. Meanwhile, at bottom, it looks like Bristle is not having the easiest time, but it does look like he has all those creeps under him.
Yeah, this lane's weird, right? Because it is, you know, Ursa loves stacking stuff up on high HP heroes, but Bristleback obviously loves just running away and getting attacked. So feels like it really comes down to the support play. And Phoenix versus Chen in lane. Phoenix obviously a lot more aggressive, but Chen, hey, the regen on this Ursa probably happy against the Bristleback.
Yeah, I do think Ursa is pretty good in this game. He's good against Bristleback, he's good against Lone Druid, really good against CM because of the status resist, and good against the egg. Like, there's no hero that I think he's terrible here against, and Insania might actually just be dead.
Yeah, he gets speared. There is going to be another nuke, and Hanskin with the long range right click gets the kill. First blood there for them.
And this is why we don't typically see CM very often, is just because of how weak of a safe laner she is. She's very squishy.
Yeah, it feels like when she was really strong and everyone was running her, it was literally just to get the range crease, but there's so many other heroes now that do that.
Absolutely, Grant.
Yep, middle lane, Limp and Koikva actually going at it, and who's winning? The Void Spirit 16-4 right now to the 14-4. So actually very, very even with a slight edge to the Void Spirit.
Limp is holding on to that point though. Not really sure what he wants to go for. Maybe if he, in a pinch, needs the Dissimilate, he'll level it.
It seems we're just sticking with 2-on-2 lanes. Obviously, Alliance kind of has to as a Chen. You don't move around like you used to. Top lane, a lot of nukes coming out again. Insane. He's in a little trouble. One more right click from Hanskin should be enough. It is S4. He's just going to waddle on out of there.
And he's got to be careful to not die after they just got another kill, but Alliance are doing very well so far in the laning phase.
Yeah, they're looking clean bottom lane as well. Makes Boxy finally use his healing. So Boxy's still with 4 tangos, so not too bad on the region. On the other side, Ursa, his are all in the stash right now, so he does need to play a little bit more careful himself.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit weary here. He doesn't have tangos, and he's dropping pretty low. Boxy's even going to bring his courier down to deliver himself even more goes than this.
Is this Chen just dead? Oh, he has to TB out, I was about to say.
That was level 2 Fire Spirits. And now they're pinging towards Nico Baby at bottom. He's got no support to help him out. He's going to get his range denied. He's going to try to drag the creep wave, and a dive in from Taiga shouldn't really do too much.
Yeah, his Fire Spirits were about to run out, so he dives in just so he makes sure to get that extra one in. And, well,
this is going to be no farm for Ursa for a little bit. He has no support down here. His courier isn't quite here yet.
Oh, and it's spotted by Taiga. They had that ward. We'll see if he goes for it. It's even coming the bad way. He's going to say, Nico Baby needs to at least run over. He will get his regen. This should be a courier kill. It is. Taiga in trouble, though. Throwing out the Fire Spirit. He's not in trouble at all. This might just be a straight-up kill. One more set of quills is enough. That's huge. You get the clear and top lane. What the hell's going on? F4 and Hanskin go down.
Oh, this is not a lane that I think top should lose.
Oh, my goodness. You were doing so well on, honestly, on all the lanes of Alliance, and then you give away those 2 kills. That's a rough one.
Yeah, I don't think Storm CM is the best kill lane that I've ever seen or heard of. Bounty Hunter Mars seems really strong, and it was looking really good. Like, they abused Insania to begin with, but from here...
Now it gets scarier because Mickey's level 5, S4 is only 4.5. And it's interesting because Alliance actually has the Sentry Ward Battle 1 up top for now. They have theirs down, so I'm curious. But Limp versus Koikva middle. Limp's still doing a very good job.
Yeah, it's very
even. Yeah, it is a very even lane. They both hit level 6.
It's just this bottom lane and this top lane. Like, the side lanes are not going well.
Uh-oh, another pull in S4. He's going to go down to one more right click. He does, and it's to Mickey. He's getting close to level 6. Hanskin going to try to run. Do we have any sentries? We don't. Just observer wards on Insania.
But that's a courier?
Oh, man. I still gotta say, I will say that, and this is not just to Alliance, to all pro teams. God, we lose so many couriers now. People are still not used to this. Slow couriers, everyone having a lot. I don't know. It just seems like something everyone can work on.
Oh, 100%. You just don't really think about the pathing, I think.
Yeah. I agree. Like bottom lane, right? We saw like it went under the big camp instead of to his tower. You just kind of forget sometimes. Well, it is now more than 1,000 gold lead for Liquid just like that. The top lane, that shift. It feels like a lot of momentum because you need S4 to be probably the one roaming around a lot early with that level 6.
And Boxy at bottom. They need to do something about this here.
Yeah, he is, and he sees Taiga. Taiga actually spots him out. Box is like, yo, I gotta get out of here. He has the phase boots as well, so he moves pretty quick. Limp's trying to chase. Limp's actually taking a ton of damage.
I think Taiga might die for this.
He might, because you see he did use the fly. They should be able to just right-click him down. Limp or Nico Baby can get the kill. Limp will pick it up.
Did take them a while though, and they didn't kill the target that they really wanted, and this is going to open up just a little bit more space for this bottom lane and this mid lane too.
Oh, and I think Hanskin might have forgot the outpost actually shows invis, so he's trying to be sneaky, but he gets spotted out by that outpost, so they know he's rotating middle.
Yeah, and he sees the stacks. That's really what he wanted to confirm. And this is likely going to be for the Storm Spirit, I would imagine, who now has a bottle.
How do you fight as Alliance? You're going to have to commit some heroes there if you do want to fight at those stacks, right?
Oh, 100%. I think it really comes down to Limp's rotation, as he's going to get TP'd in mid. Insania's pinging. They could go, but the TP in Limp, I think, will persuade this, and they might even get the kill. He accidentally used the roar on the Chen. No, he saves it.
The TP out, and he does survive. Koikva's curry actually goes down to Hanskin, and yep, there's another one.
They just all died.
Oh, the couriers, rest in peace. The little animals.
Poor guys.
Oh, man. Now Koikva is getting a lot ahead middle, and he just gets 2 roots in a row, and Limp takes him down to 50%, and it is going to be the runes. It will be an invis, but Quickfoot kind of did his job, right? You just don't want that Void Spirit to fill his body. You got to be a little careful. He's going to pop his ulti. The new one just gives you that nice HP, and he didn't want to get jumped on. He realized it was 3v1, just no reason to risk it.
It's a really long cooldown, though.
It is.
And it's only going to last for a few more seconds. It's like 30 seconds from here. So maybe they have some kill potential on him after it goes down. But this is a lot of wasted time by Hanskin while the CM's just stacking, and she's going to run into the Bounty Hunter too. And in fact, some pings go out. She doesn't have any sort of dust. And S4 has now finally hit 6.
That's good.
So he should be okay in this top lane. But when it comes to pure CS right now, this is pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
Nico Baby's got to be careful. He does have his Enrage. He's going to pop it, try to get away. Boxy doesn't want to fight under the creep wave.
Yeah, they will back it up. So he has phase boots now, just flew him out in the earth as well. Zibe, he's down here. Just gonna throw a little bit of right clicks there. And now, you know, Nico Baby's like, yo, just stand here with me. I need the regen. And Boxy, he is very fast. And Tiger once again gets the courier kill. It's gonna be jump forward from Nico Baby. And it is a TP in from Limp. Boxy, a little bit too aggressive. He gets the kill on Chen, but they get the counter kill on him. Limp already showing a lot of aggression.
Yeah, and he needs to be aggressive everywhere on the map. This Mars is a little bit too far behind, so he doesn't really have a lot of plays to make. Insania is going to spot out with the sentry, and he just does some kind of weird loop-de-loop.
Bye. And he's back into his jungle. Gonna go maybe stack up at the 10-minute mark. Bounty runes a spawn in 2. We'll see if they want to take a fight. I feel like S4, you either TP bottom now, or you definitely... And okay, he's TP middle.
And they're going to go for the bear. Quickfa.
He has his ulti again. He's going to pop it. He'll get a little bit of HP, and it's a lot. The spear actually ends up hitting on the Storm Spear, and he zipped into it. But then the ground, that might have been very good for Liquid on accident. Hanskin, he's going to get right click down now as well. And oh my goodness, the 1 second cooldown on Lone Druid ulti. I love you see him turning into it, and then boom, just raw HP.
And Nico Baby's coming in, but won't get... Looks like either the bounty runes. So for now, all the bounty runes controlled by Liquid, and both outposts were taken by them too. This is not the kind of start that you wanted as Alliance. And that spear, like you said, that was perfect. I don't think Mickey meant to do that.
He just tanks it. Like, the bear would have died right there, and that's a lot of your damage. So a nice play by him nonetheless, whether it's intentional or not. But Bob going into Boxy, the one, oh, the Sunray, almost enough to heal him. They do get the tower, but Limp seems to be Boxy's enemy down in his bottom lane quite a few times now.
That gave him a lot of levels. That's helping him out.
He's almost 9. He will be middle lane. They're just running. Oh, Chen, I have a feeling Mask of Madness. There's a reason people don't give Quick for this hero. He's just going to run you down with it.
The root at the last second to just add insult.
Yeah, like I would have killed you anyways.
And that was weird. The spear like shoved him to the side. And Quick's going to commit for this tower. More heroes filtering in from Liquid. Looks like nobody else is coming in from Alliance. And they're getting out-leveled really hard.
I would say, yeah, I'm looking at the top lane right now is the big one. Mickey's level 10. The Ursa's getting close to level 8, but still 7. And you can tell, it's a 4K gold lead right now. Well, Limp.
They're still the jungle stack too. Everything is double stacked in this jungle. Look at the Ancients, those are stacked. Taiga during this entire time was stacking both the Ancients and the hard camp simultaneously, so Bhakti's gonna get huge. And this Tricore from Liquid is just gonna get really fat really soon if Alliance don't make a move, but I think their support duo is really weak. Yeah. Like Bounty Hunter Chen doesn't sound like either of them deal damage, and when you're behind like this you need spells to kill, and neither of them are really spellcasters. Like this Bounty Hunter is still level 5.
Yeah, not even with the track, and he's actually 1-2-1 build, still holding on to a point himself.
And another stack, he's not able to block either of those. They've got to do something because this passive game style is not benefiting them at all.
Yeah, the whole point, you have a much worse late game, but a very good early game, and it almost feels like Liquid's about to just skip that early mid game because they are killing so many stacks. We do see S4. He did drop that first ulti. It was aggressive. They didn't get the kill there close. Insania thought S4 might think about maybe just going for that solo kill, getting something out of it.
And there's a dust here.
Oh, they get in. Yep, there's the lone Druid. So much damage on this bear. My God, they're just going to run forward for more. Zibe, he gets rooted up. He's going to keep getting right click. Mask of Madness on cooldown. It's not going to matter even with that Ice Ogre. And it's just a beatdown right now.
Yeah, they're getting out farmed, out rotated, no kills. They don't really have any tower pressure. The towers are even really looked at or touched. They're going to lose the mid tower for that. There's still sacks for Liquid to go for. And Alliance, something's got to give. You picked Nico Baby as Ursa so that you could hit this like really sick mid-game timing. And we just haven't seen that so far. And if you look at the stack difference...
Yeah, it's big.
And Boxy is going to get massive. He almost has a Halberd. He's got a Sanj coming up right now in a second. Insania might pop the ulti for this.
Oh yeah, let's go. The position 5 dream right here. Yo, don't cancel it. That's a little too nice. Yeah, but Blitz.
What's up?
Have you ever just helped your friend so much that it hurt you? Sometimes you just gotta take it.
Yeah, I mean, I casted with Cat for like 4 years.
Yeah, I know. But now look at you. Sort of turned out okay. Now you're with me. Hey! Let's go.
Upgrades in 2020, baby. Across the board.
But as you said, I think the big thing is these supports. The Bounty Hunter is still not 6.
He's just walking around, watching the farm stacks. Like, that's his best option right now. They're not getting aggressive anywhere around the map. Like you said, it's 14 minutes in. I have to assume somebody took the tome. Nobody's level 6.
I want to say Limp, the one he's been trying. He's counter-rotated bottom twice pretty successfully against Boxy, but you need more than just a Void Spirit making plays.
Yeah, I think Limp is... I mean, he's 3-1-0, and his game is kind of maintained, but he doesn't have somebody to play with, I think is the problem. There's no damage dealer or stun for him to go in with, and so he's just kind of... everyone's just farming by default. And we talked about how Liquid has this really strong tri-core, and they have 2 more useful supports. So as time goes on, I think you sort of just win the game if nothing's happening.
No doubt. Boxy actually 1 creep away from level 12, and as you said, so close that having Halberd. He is he feels unkillable, because there's no way you're going to have a Spirit Vessel very early in this game, if at all, on Alliance.
I mean, Bounty Hunter's trying to go for it, but he doesn't even have the urn at 15 minutes. He might steal some bounty runes here. That could be... This is going to be their first bounty rune.
No. Got it. Oh, everything just feels like it's coming up wrong right now for Alliance.
Yeah, and they're going to spot him too. They know.
Yeah, they jump forward, and this should be a kill. It is. Mickey picks it up. Even on the backside, Boxy was harassing back the Mars and the Chen the whole time on that high ground.
Yeah, the last 8 bounty runes, both outposts, all go for Liquid, and that's really going to make your supports especially really poor. And you can see that Chen doesn't have mech yet. Still only level 5. They're both level 5 at 15 minutes on their support duo right now.
Those are up. You did put 2 of these kind of supports that I know, at least us, obviously we're not pro players, but we do not like the Chen and the Bounty Hunter support. They both kind of, you need stuff on them, and they're getting nothing. Yeah. Straight up. It's not like an Oracle, right? Like an Oracle, sure, you got your Tranquil Boots, you have your Windlace, you have your save, but these heroes, they need like a mech on the Chen, Spear Vessel on the Bounty, and they're just not there yet.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks kind of just like Alliance are lost. Yeah. Like, they're not really making any plays. It doesn't really feel like they want to take fights. I think this is kind of the issue. Like, it's more draft related than play related, because they can't really make any plays right now. They have to just sort of chill and farm. The concern right now is if you give up Roche, because you've given up this mid tower and this top tier 2.
Which you probably will, because the Bear does have his Death Zone now, by the way. We saw him shred that tier 2 tower top, but then, S4 going to be initiated on the Goose coming out. He will spear him. There's just the ulti thrown out, but they have nothing to stop. They do. Shuriken goes out there, just going to try to run it. It's going to be Nico. This is the fight they need. Insania goes down. The problem is Boxy is such a beefy boy. He's like, going to pop that buyback and fly back in. Nico, baby, nice units there. Will be enough. They have to start away. They get. Nicky goes down. S4 will get chased. The problem is you have these very tanky Baron Bristleback you have to get through now. There's the pyramid drop. Lift goes down. Nico baby getting run after. It's a great kill on Mickey, but the problem is there's 3 other heroes with 10,000 net worth as well. And
that wasn't too bad for Alliance.
It wasn't.
They got 2 kills right there.
And a buyback even from the Crystal Maiden.
2 kills and a buyback. If you just look at the fight recap, gold actually went in their favor.
Yeah. Oh. Well, maybe it changes a little now. I can give a solo kill with the Chen, but... And
he's got Spirit Vessel. But you can see that Alliance can still win team fights, and they were doing the correct thing by just holding. You saw Mickey get the dual stuff. He needed Boxy to run into that 8th remnant, I think.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you get the kill on Mickey and all of a sudden like, yeah, this ain't good. And they have to run away. But if you can do stuff like that, like get that pickoff and somehow disengage, they still can. The problem is getting the disengage.
Yeah. I think disengaging for their team
is
kind of
not impossible.
As it been for the
Will he get the last hit? Yep. He's like, mine and mine.
group project, you know? You just come in at the end. You did the PowerPoint slides.
Blitz, what were you, did you actually do your homework, or did you make other people do it in school?
I did it all the time. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I never did mine.
Oh, really? Who did it for you?
Well, in group projects, actually. Well, I just didn't do it. Why did D's get degrees, right, or something like that? I don't know.
Get degrees,
oh.
dude. It's C's
well,
get degrees.
explains why I don't have a degree then. Yeah.
It's C's get degrees, Grant. D's get degrees.
Well, I don't have
a degree. You got.
Oh man, Boxy, what's he going for? He's going for a Yules himself. Is there any specific reason for Yules on Bristleback in this game?
I'm not really sure, honestly.
Okay, maybe he just wants mana.
Enrage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yules is one of those. Yules, I think, is like one of the few stuns, if only, that doesn't really care about status resist. Yeah. Correct, Brian? Yeah.
Correct.
Yules no cares.
Well,
maybe he also thinks he has mana issues.
Yeah, they were looking. They almost found the Phoenix. The problem is they don't have too much lockdown. You need a perfect Yules or Aether Remnant and Limp. He was right there, and they're thinking, oh, they're going to run it. Sorcerer's doing his first one going, he's not too scared. They pull him in, it's insane. That will be a dieback if he goes down, but no, Limp jumps away. It's going to be a freeze. Bounty Hunter more than likely going down here.
The execute on the Remnant.
And they just back out. Yeah. So Alliance, they only lose one there. Could have been worse, but close to getting that Crystal Main. Honestly, then you make it a 4v5 game for a bit because he did die back.
Yeah, I can kind of see how Alliance could potentially win a team fight. It really comes down to them finding the CM and the Storm on the jump, and then you can kite the Bristle and the Lone Druid. Because I don't know if you kill a Lone Druid when he has his ulti up.
It feels, yeah, 2,300 HP with 22 armor. I'm just going to say you won't. Meanwhile, Boxy, he was trying to bait out Nico Baby's ultimate. It looks
there's a
like
smoke, and if they could catch Quakefoot, they know he's down here alone. This would be a massive pickoff. He doesn't have his ultimate too. Here's S4.
That's gonna be a perfect spear. Is it enough? Whoa! He gets speared. The forehand. Quakefoot just gets knocked down. Yeah, Mickey. He jumps in now, but you gotta be careful. He does have that Aegis, but still, you're missing one of your big ones, and he's just gonna drop the egg to maybe disengage. A little bit of miscommunication on Liquid, and now it's gonna run away.
And that's Quakefoot being really greedy. They showed one hero mid, and the Bounty Hunter was just kind of scouting around.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. They got something big on the map. The Lone Druid was the
biggest kill.
The biggest bounty. Yeah.
We do see a pull. Boxy is hasted, by the way. He gets that rune bottom, but if you didn't know, Yules purges will take off that haste. And Limp, he's dancing right now on this Void Spirit with this Yules. He's making a lot happen.
And there are bounty runes plenty for Liquid to go for. I think Boxy got the last one, but they should know about this other bounty here.
You see the Sunray trying to heal up Mickey. Does have that Bloodstone.
Yeah, the Essence Ring too.
We see it. Yeah, look at that. Liquid pretty much odds on. That is an absolute, I mean, what would you give it, Blitz, personally?
12-1 is insane. People have...
It is a 12K lead at 21 minutes, though.
Sure, but 12-1 is insane.
It is. You're not right. I mean, the win probability on Dota Plus has it at, what is that, 98%. I feel like, I know Dota Buff also really likes Lone Druid. He's up there with Spectre, actually, with late game, even though he's like not at all. Yeah, like if you had Spectre versus Lone Druid, actually very even, which is hilarious.
So I don't think that the 12-1 or the 98-2 is very accurate. Let's say, I think like 85-15, 90-10 is safer. What do you think, Gods? 90-10? 12-1, you think that's accurate?
The 12-1.
You think that's accurate? Wow. Okay.
We do have a quick pause, Boxy lag. Try to get him back in here. So Storm Spirit going Ags next item. What about on Radiant? What we got? Mars has the blink going Vlad's.
Yeah.
Yule's into Solar Crest on Void Spirit, and Ursa, he has his BKB and he has Vampire Fangs and a Mask at Madness.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
this
he's not
Ursa
hurt at all. Once he
Yeah.
gets a Basher, like I can see a way for Alliance to win this game. They get the jump on Insania, they get an immediate 4v5, then they just kind of kite and fight non-stop. They need to leave the Bristleback for last, and he's not going for any more damage items. In fact, he's got this Yules, so it's not like he's scaling at the same rate. Like this is 2,700 gold that, you know, is for a Cyclone. Like you would prefer to see like a Abyssal Blade or like a Radiance or an Octarine or something like that, but no.
And then the Bounty Hunter, we were struggling with those levels, but level 9.5 now, and actually very close to the Spirit Vessel, only about 600 off Chen. Still behind, but it's a Chen. Like, if you have a slow start on a Chen, he's one of those heroes, it's like, man, I hope I get some passive gold and I can buy a mech, because it's a rough one.
The amount of jump that Alliance has is actually really nice. Like, they have Void Spirit plus Mars, and I always say, like, whatever team... Like, you can come back if you can get an initiation. That's how Dota works. Like, if you can instantly turn a fight into a 4-on-5, like we saw at bottom when they got the jump on the Lone Druid, he does die when he doesn't have ulti up. And
then you saw they had to use the Phoenix Egg to just disengage there. It feels like a lot of this game is on Taiga to have well-placed eggs, because when this Ursa does commit, he's committed, but if your egg's too close to him, BK beat up, he'll just kill it. Exactly. It feels like this. We'll see what Taiga can do. He feels like he can really control this game.
And if Taiga just dies, like if he messes up with the egg, like that could be a really big turning point too for Alliance. But it really just depends on what kind of jump they get and who they get the jump on. If they can catch one of the two supports, like blow up this Phoenix with the Yule's combo, that would be a really good start. If they could catch this Lone Druid or this Storm, like they have really good kill combos on the side of Alliance.
I do gotta say, Alliance has a Pupil's Gift not being used. That is usually the most highly valued one. But obviously Ursa, the Vampire Fangs are amazing. Essence Ring, just having that raw HP. And the Vambrace, pretty good, especially on a strength here. It's actually more strength because, you know, you don't get any strength if you're the strength here with that Pupil's Gift. So it's just odd. I've never really seen a Pupil's Gift not be used. And they do have a Mango Tree they haven't even placed yet. We'll see if they do that. On the other side, what neutral lines we got going? I saw David or Pop-Tart was looking at them all.
Vampire Fangs and Essence Ring. Essence Ring I think is an excellent Storm item. Everyone always forgets about the 6 int and the 2.5 mana regen. I think it's the highest mana regen item for a tier 2 item, in fact.
It's a good amount. And you also see the bear gets to hold 2 of them. Your little bear gets to hold one himself.
Silly goose.
Little silly guy. I still wish there was a Winnie the Pooh skin. I really do. Like, and it's just freaking Winnie the Pooh running around with a honey pot. That'd be sick. And he had his own voice lines. Like, would the bear himself had his own voice lines? Like, don't put your head into the honey or something. I don't know.
I don't think Winnie ever said that.
Nah, I mean, you don't ever take Winnie the Pooh's honey. He actually, in lore, he almost beat up Piglet. They're going to initiate in middle. Chasing him down with the Lone Druid. He gets fierce. When he goes, just run away. It's a quick bring down there on S4. That is the one problem. As you said, they need jump, which is why he went blink. But when you go blink first, you're pretty squishy on Mars.
And both beefy heroes just running in. You can see Boxy setting the line with the gem. Not afraid of dying at all. I don't think Nico Baby, this is the target he necessarily wants to hit.
It's so hard. Like, how do you, that's the problem. He doesn't have a blink on Ursa, so how does he get in? They jump forward there. We assimilate right on the ground. It's a buyback by S4, and I think Liquid, they knew that was coming. Yeah, they're disengaging. That was really well played by them.
Yeah, they instantly got out of there. Boxy just set the line for them, got the rest of the team out, and yeah, for Alliance, like the gold lead grows, the gold disadvantage grows even more.
Yeah, I feel like if this Spare Bear's on top of you, you're just dead. He has a Deathso Basher mask and an Imp Claw.
Oh, yeah,
this dude hurts.
Now I know why Boxy decided to go for Yule's, the Dispel on the track.
Okay. I was wondering if that is, I think that's a good thing for that. You're running away, boom, Yules it off.
Yeah, and I know he's been having internet problems lately for the past like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't really get it fixed right now.
Yeah, pretty rough. You know, do any house calls or anything from internet companies. So hopefully we'll see him back in here soon. And this feels like this might be a GG smoke from Alliance, right? You smoke up. If you get wiped here, might be the end, but I do like they're going for it.
Oh yeah, they have to make some sort of play. You can see the XP and the net worth graphs just going steadily downwards. And the win probability is now 99% to 1.
But there is a chance.
They lost half their chance.
There is a chance, Blitz. They did.
They lost half.
I'm trying to think. So, okay, we see where they're smoked up. Where should they move? Do you head more towards the bottom lane? Like, because what vision do they have? I'm looking for Radiant. I don't see any wards up, so they're blind.
So typically you end up smoking towards your vision. I think smoking towards the triangle is not a bad idea here. Okay. If they could catch Liquid farming out right now, and Liquid have to know about this, or they should. This is, in my opinion, like kind of an obvious move, because if you notice, they don't really have. Oh, Insania said ready before Boxy.
Oh, never mind. I like that's where.
That's where it was like,
Are you
yeah,
sure?
we can go.
It sounded like Boxy probably said it. So Boxy made Insania like look dumb because he's like, "Yo, guys, I'm back," and he wasn't actually back. He just rejoined now.
He said, "If you guys want," S4 said graciously, "If you guys want, we can remake this game, run it back."
That was really nice.
Yeah, really good, good sportsmanship.
Out of here. Okay, so it looked like they were going to go bottom, but now they're going to go more towards that top lane. Nico, baby, he was smoked up, but kind of forced to push in that middle lane, or else
It's too obvious.
Too obvious,
If
yeah.
creeps are hitting your racks, at that point,
Something's not right in the game.
where could they be?
I wonder. Well, Hanskin might be getting a courier kill here. He plants the ward.
Oh, this would be
See if he goes
pretty.
for it.
This is gold, baby.
That's gold. Kills the courier. They ping him out, but at that point, you know, well, he got us.
You commend him for being dastardly.
Yep, Eddie just run away. He's like, maybe I'll find another one at the secret shop as he runs down there, but Dire grouped up top there, smoking themselves. There will be a 4-man smoke, and it looks like you see this a lot. 4-man smoke, and you connect down to your other player, which is the Storm Spirit, far down bottom.
And they're going to spot them under vision. They see Nico Baby farming. Mickey's hiding in the tree line. He wants the rest of his team to get here first. He's going to go for the zip.
Can they stun him up before he gets out? The basher first hit on the bear, and that's the best kill you can get right there.
And there's a DD rune at bottom for Mickey to refill his bottle.
Oh.
He's got Aghanims too. And you can see Hanskin's game plan has just changed. Now he's just become like the courier sniper.
Courier and trying to like cut waves. You see even Limp, he is stuck in that top jungle. And I like it, even Brad, that's Taiga. He's like, I believe there's people here in our side, and they just run right at the racks. That melts. Goodbye, melee racks.
Yeah.
Going
shot by them.
Yeah, going for that assault carries next on the spear. Oh, S4. Very close. Quick blink away. Storm Spirit, he pops that DD. You're just dead.
Still have a bottom.
Yeah, look at Chen. Chen, by the way, pulled the creeps to middle lane with one little guy, so it does slow down that bottom point. There's gonna run it. Boxy actually taking a lot of damage, but he gets his back turned, and Phoenix Sunray.
Phoenix Sunray is very efficient. And Alliance are all in for this fight. Nico Baby has no gold. They're just gonna run in and see what happens.
The Mithril Hammer needs a little extra damage. They just lock him down. You don't want to have to use your ulti this early, but he does. And now it's a force. He pops in BKB. No basher, so he can't send off. Limp goes down immediately. It's a Phoenix and on the ground. They get S4. The Phoenix blows up. It is a buyback from Limp. Zimbe dies. Hanskin dies. It's looking like Alliance's hopes in this game are dying as they'll just go for the racks. And absolutely. Aim wait. The Chen buys back. We'll see if he can defend. He does have the trusty shovel. Dig up that bounty.
Dig it up.
Dig it up.
Get that gold going. That's your buyback, maybe.
I didn't see that coming.
Oh, he's not. You're mad.
Yeah, I'm a tad upset about the
Midas-
shovel.
your
Yeah.
Midas reminder.
It is. Meanwhile, Insania does go down to Limp. Mickey is like, oh, okay. I guess you can have our support.
They're gonna get mega here though if they don't make a move soon.
They are, and it's so hard. The Mars down for 30 seconds. Has his ulti when he respawns, but it might be a little bit too late. Nico Baby just calls it. And this one was a little bit tough because you could see Alliance's game plan, but the problem was you just kind of, that top lane actually went well for the first 4 minutes, and then the double kill, right? That one double kill felt like it turned the game for me.
It actually never feels bad when you lose a lane like that and then you immediately get a
Still last hit in 5 seconds. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? It's Dire's turn. It's Radiant's turn to ban. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. Just who will die? It's Radiant's turn.
The Dota 2 Swedish Civil War continues with Alliance versus Team Liquid Game 2, but it's been a very one-sided war so far, with Liquid pretty handily taking that first game. Hopefully we're going to see something a bit different, because we want some close games. We don't want none of the one-sided stuff. For that, I turn to Gods and BSJ to help forge a path, find a way for Alliance to come back in game.
Better drafting, but I also think Liquid looks like the overall better team, and even with even drafts, I'd still favor them. So I'll defer to Brian. What is the way for Alliance then?
Yeah, you just have to think very carefully about every pick. I think it's proof. The game that I will use as an example for this was when I casted the Singapore event, and Secret was playing, and there was one draft that for whatever reason it made absolutely no sense to me. And I was like, you know what, it's Puppy. They got this, right? Like, it's Secret. They're really good or whatever. And they go into the game and they get raffle stomped in the first 15 minutes. They look completely terrible. None of their picks made sense. And I was like, well, I guess that proves how big of an importance the draft is. Like, players can't make up for having bad matchups, no clear-cut game plan, etc.
You know what I thought this story was initially about? I thought it was going to be like how Brian didn't see the way this was going to work, but then Secret in game showed him you know, what was supposed to be, and he realized he was wrong. But no, the story was actually about Brian being right.
I talk about being wrong way too much.
No, that doesn't happen. You're right. Watch the stream, right?
You know, I saw Puppy draft and it looked like garbage. You know what? It was.
Well, my point is that coming from that first game, I actually don't have any changed opinion about like the individual players on Alliance. I don't think these players are worse or the team is worse. I'm saying that if you pick a draft that just doesn't set you up for success, you're gonna look really stupid. And sometimes, like in pubs even, you'll be like, God, something just felt wrong this game. We just lost. And sometimes you look at your heroes and you go, well, when were we supposed to win this game? And Dota has a weird way of feeling really hard and not exactly knowing why. You know, you're like, this game did not seem like it played itself. And a lot of times in professional matches, that has to do with the setup. And it's even as simple as they ban Mirana first round. Crazy. You ban the Phoenix, right? Like, that's exactly why they banned the Mirana. You have to think about every single pick. You have to think about every single ban. And, yeah, so they get the Coddle. Already a better start for Alliance. Very good hero. Take the budget Coddle on the side of Team Liquid. Followed up by the Storm again. I almost hope this doesn't work, because that seems like a really weird opening.
Yeah.
Storm last game was picked into Bounty Hunter Chen, where it's like, oh, their two supports have absolutely no stuns. It's going to be a free Storm game.
You're first toing Storm. That's the thing. It was a free Storm game. And this is, you don't know what kind of Storm game it is.
You saw their offlaner, so you knew it was going to be like, they put it safe lane. It's like, oh, it's a ranged Storm against a melee hero. That's a pretty decent matchup, even if it's not supposed to win, as Blitz was saying. Ember, a very natural counter to Storm because of the Searing Chains, with the Coddle as well. They nerfed Chakra Magic. That's what everyone was saying was broken, but cooldown reduction is now 6 instead of 7. So sadly, Searing Chains now has a cooldown of 2 seconds rather than 1.
Rough.
Well, yeah, it's real struggle for the Coddle Ember combo after 7.25C.
Was Ember touched in the patch?
Nope.
Okay.
And that maybe would have been a pickup with the Crystal Main we would have agreed with more. The advantage of Storm Spirit for Team Liquid specifically, though, they're able to run it both in the mid and safe lane. Is that make it a bit better?
I mean, it does, right? You have absolute last pick, so obviously they're going to pick their offlaner next round, and then they're going to leave it open. But the thing is, Storm does do well in lane versus Ember, so it's most likely going to be a safe lane Ember. When I say most likely, I mean, ideally speaking, it would be, but I don't actually know if Nico Baby plays Ember. I've never seen it. Have you guys seen or heard of a Nico Baby Ember? Okay. In that case, you're probably content to put the Storm mid by last pick, but obviously Team Liquid will find that out by the time they make that decision. The Storm is nice against Coddle. We always have been liking Ricky and stuff, anything that gets on the Coddle. Really hard to position Keeper of the Light against Storm Spirit. Now it's a matter of having something that threatens him when he goes in, I think, for Alliance. They have to make it so this Coddle's somewhat protected and that Storm doesn't feel the absolute freedom to ball out of control, quite literally.
I'm going to make sure they don't get that Nico Baby Medusa.
No Medusa.
Game winner.
Storm runs into damage issues, you know. It's probably really good against whatever offlaner they're going to pick as well. Is Mars still in the pool? Yes, it is.
Still in the pool.
It's not the best for Coddle Ember, though, to be honest with you. It is just a good hero, though, so they might still go for it. Looks like Centaur still prioritizes a first-round ban. I wasn't sure how big of a deal the Retaliate nerf was. It went from 78% damage with max Zax to 52% first level. Seems like a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 15, 20 damage.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, like, how much is your Retaliate active winning your lane, and how much of it is the extra damage? Because I would argue most of the time Retaliate active is going to be used to secure your CS. In which case, if you're doing 200 a hit versus 150 hit, you're still probably out CSing the opponent carry, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
I think you have less kill threat in lane because there's sometimes those duos where you get to go on them with Retaliate Sex and get kills, and that's less likely.
Now you don't get that ridiculous amount of, like, I just hit you and do 200 damage a shot. It's like a huge nuke every single hit.
I remember when he got that spell, a lot of people were initially doubtful of it, and then turns out that hitting for free damage in the laning stage is okay, you know? So what will they do? Could they go for the Nyx? We've seen that hero against Ember. They go for the Legion offlane pick. It's okay against Coddle. It's okay against Ember Searing Chains combo, but it's not that great when the 2-second cooldown.
And it's also not a save against Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah. It removes the first Will-O-Wisp, right? Like, it will remove the one that's on you.
I think it just reapplies itself after 0.1 second.
No. Wait, really?
I thought so.
Oh, I actually don't know. So I
thought it was a continuous disable.
I thought it was like a flicker that activated and pulled you, like an Ether Remnant type thing. I actually should check that. I really don't know. That's something important to know, honestly. Maybe Twitch chat, somebody can tweet me, you know, about that one to save me that 30 seconds of my own time. As we
don't again the test client. You trust Twitch chat and Twitter?
Yeah, if they were
demoing.
Yeah, if someone goes out of their way to troll me, that'd be more impressive than anything.
All right, what control do we need for this Storm Spirit?
Some kind of 4 position for
Shaker, maybe?
Yeah, Shaker. He likes Tiny a lot. That isn't maybe
Tiny can be annoying,
control, but
it
definitely
can be annoying. Yeah, the Avalanche, you're not able to ball lightning out of that Avalanche. So heroes like Anti-Mage and Storm, who have like cast animations on their mobility spells, they are effectively stunned for the entire duration of the Avalanche. Yeah, they go Shaker. Okay, I like that pick better. It's just good counter initiation, goes well with the Coddle, probably secures your offlaner who's going to get counterpicked, and they immediately go for the Skywrath Mage. I think there's a reason we don't see this hero. It is a pretty standard combo with Legion Commander, though. And obviously the whatever you call it. What's the ult called?
The Mystic Flare.
Mystic Flare onto the dual target.
That combination works with Storm Spirit as well, because the range at which you can cast it works pretty nicely with Storm Spirit.
What is the range, Cap?
Really long.
1200.
Is this like a grand answer?
That was way too confident.
Yeah,
that was a grand answer for sure.
That's not actually the truth. So they are putting Ember
around
safe lane.
1200.
Okay, so they are putting Ember safe. And TA mid. Storm TA I think is like a somewhat even matchup, but if they are comfortable picking like the Huskars or the Razors, you could easily go for those type of matchups. Razor not so great against the Coddle because he breaks the link with Blinding Light, but maybe Viper too? You have a lot of catch on Team Liquid. I think you can prioritize just shutting down the TA in whatever way they deem effective.
What was the first hero you were saying? Sorry.
You mentioned Huskar?
Yeah, Huskar. Okay. Just something.
I like Huskar because it gives you like a win condition. You take Roche, you snowball. I think Viper to me is just like, yeah, you might win your lane, but then you have
no objective taking with Viper, Storm, Legion. That is certainly a problem. It really depends on what Alliance picks last for the off lane, because you might just have a way better counter pick in the safe lane than you do. And Storm does absolutely fine against TA. I think that's a skill-based matchup that's about 50-50. Maybe Blitz will be able to tell us when they start casting. One of the few heroes he actually knows something about, the Storm Spirit. Just kidding, Blitz. Kind of.
The guy buys you smoothies.
Blitz is actually a really great guy. I hope everyone knows I'm just joking.
Plus, you have to be careful because you're about to give up your time, and Blitz is going to have 50 minutes plus of saying whatever he wants about you.
This is true.
He gets his platform.
Shoot your shot, sir. They do ban and go for the Prophet of the Natures.
Okay.
Troll Warlord, I like a lot for Team Liquid. You have the Legion press the attack. Yes, it looks like a good BKB game, so you need a core that buys one. It's either Troll or Gyro that really stand out to me here.
Well, if you want to play fast, Gyrocopter with Legion Commander, that's a duo that we've seen a lot in the past. Just a lot of run at you, Dota.
Could they even run it back and just pick the Lone Druid again?
You could. I think you could have a really good counter pick to the offlane Nature's Prophet. I think Storm would really struggle if you put him safe lane. And
second pick.
That is not the ideal hero for me against TA Nature's Prophet. The single target physical from TA is quite good against lifesteal. I also haven't seen this hero very much. His win rate pubs especially dropped a lot.
They felt quite rushed with the pick. Like, it got down right to 0. It is a Storm lifestealer, so they probably had a few options, but it seemed like they wanted to think about it more before picking.
So here's a perfect example of a test of my theory. Is I think Alliance's draft is far better this game comparatively as it was last game, and let's just see how big of a difference it makes.
Guts, you agree?
I agree, and I think Alliance is going to take a game 3. Limson, his TA, it's his best hero in my mind, and I do not like playing Lifestealer into TA, just into these heroes in general. It feels like a pretty rough Lifestealer game. It's not an amazing lane either, so we'll favor Alliance here.
Yeah, a lot of damage and kill threat both ways, so whatever team wins, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty obvious who's winning at like 15 minutes into the game.
All right, so the second game is an experiment for us. Is it about the draft or is it about the play? We'll see in game 2 with Grant and Blitz.
Indeed. Hello, friends. Game number 2 upon us. Liquid versus Alliance. Very dominating performance from Liquid game number 1, but it sounds like and looks like we might have a little bit of an outdraft from Alliance. Do you agree, Blitz?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alliance is going to win this game. Because I don't see how Liquid ever fights them. I think is the problem. Like, I think this is going to be a really value Will-O-the-Wisp game. I think their team fight is better. I think their laning phase might be better on the side of Alliance. Like, I'm kind of hard-pressed to see how my boys are going to do it, if I'm honest.
But hey, this is pressure makes diamonds or something, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. So I guess we'll see if you've got some diamonds in the rough or if it will indeed go to a game number 3. You see the odds right there. Liquid still being favored. I'm actually surprised it didn't change too much after that game 1 because I believe these happened before draft. And, you know, I thought Liquid it could have been odds on, but still about the same. And we'll see what Liquid can do with this draft because, you know, you're going to have a TA and then that Coddle Ember. You got super low cooldowns running at you, Blitz.
I think so too. I think Coddle Ember might be broken, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I think Ember's really good right now, and I think Coddle's really good right now. I haven't seen Ember lose very many games, and I haven't seen Coddle lose many games. We'll see how good of a Coddle Zibe is.
Yeah.
As he's going to go for the other rune, in fact.
Ooh, gotta be careful. Skyroth is a pretty scary. He's gonna push him away. You gotta be ready, Tiger. Yep, there's the push away, and he'll steal it.
Zibe is probably going to just run away from this.
Skills his W first, and he will just back up. So it is gonna be a 2-for-2 trade, it looks like, as long as they go and pick up their other rune on Alliance.
I don't love this Lifestealer pick. I think there's a reason why this hero is like never seen anymore.
And why is that?
Kind of meh laning. Doesn't really scale like as quickly as it used to anymore. Base stats were lower too.
Oh, in that middle lane, it is going to be a TA versus Storm, and obviously, I know it's been a bit since you played Storm, but BSJ said it's pretty even. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but I think TA outfarms you like pretty quickly, and Limp TA is like really good.
He's a beast on that hero. Top lane, it is Earthshaker as well as Nature's Prophet going up against the Crystal main as well as that Lifestealer.
Corpo's getting kind of crushed right now. Like he's tanked every single side blade hit.
I gotta be careful. You don't want to lose your healing salve. Anyway, at least he gets it almost all the way off there. And nice farming under the tower there from him. As they trade hits back and forth. Bottom lane, the other lane. Will be that Ember Spear Coddle we talked about versus a Legion and Skywrath. With Keeper taking a lot of damage early, already out of regen.
I think if this lane goes well for Liquid, this is how you could potentially win. Because I don't know if they win top or mid. That's kind of the concern right now. If bottom wins like really hard, then I could see it. But I don't think CM is excellent against Nature's Prophet, nor is Lifestealer.
Yeah, kind of just right-clicking. We've seen it. Feels like Nature's Prophet's one of those heroes. Every time we see it, it's just like the most farmed hero on the map. Whether it's rotating or just split pushing, you always find farm on like a core Nature's Prophet.
Corpo's doing a lot better mid than expected from the beginning. He just has to kind of be careful about the regen war that he might lose, but he's already brought himself another salve.
Like you said, look at these side blades. Oh no, Koikva, be careful. Oh, he's dodging, it hits him again. Oh,
that was really dangerous for him.
It was, and he brings up salve as you talked about, but once again, now he's out of regen if he gets side bladed, so a big deal in that mid lane. Whether the CS is even or not, it's how much healing salves and tangos you're doing.
And Taiga gets pushed back. They're gonna ruin his Sal or his Clarity.
His Clarity, and it looked like he wanted to actually pull away, but he gets pushed away and he misses the attack on the neutral creep, so he can't even pull it. Uh-oh, S4 as well as bottom lane and up lane. Looks like S4 will just TP out as we freak out our observer. Top, bottom, middle. Oh my goodness.
Check everywhere right now.
Hey, we'll just TP. That's the one good thing about Nature's Prophet. Guess what? You TP home and you TP right back. Simple as that.
And I think Taiga might go down. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Oh no. Nico Baby was barely out of range. If Nico Baby gets in there, just for the slide alone, I can get the kill. And this is just so efficient. Like the amount of trading that Ember gets to do against pretty much all the offlaners just feels really good right now.
Yeah, especially with the Coddle on your team. He doesn't even have the chakra magic yet, and
it doesn't have any sort of way out.
Uh-oh, he's just gonna right-click down. Yeah, and look at the tree and blocking him.
He ate the wrong tree.
Oh no, and he'll go down because of an S4 and hand skin. Well done at that top lane, and already S4 off to a great start.
Yeah, and this is again, I think, just a really free Nature's Prophet lane. Yeah. Alliance, of course, famed for their Nature's Prophet.
They are. Time and time again. So
when it comes to net worth, middle's winning really hard. Like, even though the CS looks even, you have to focus on the actual net worth, because Koikva has spent his last like 500 gold purely on regen. Yeah, only on salves and mangoes.
Oh, Zibe down bottom in a lot of trouble. Right click the flying, but he will survive under there. Now he's actually gonna throw out a blast. Turn it around, Boxy will eat a decent amount of damage. And oh, Taiga. His bottom lane feels like there's a lot of poking and prodding. You got to be careful.
Taiga, he's getting pinged right now. He's got to be careful and get.
Oh, is that blast gonna hit? Ooh, gets saved up by Boxy there. And now we do have the neutrals. It looks like both teams pulled this one with all the creeps there. Top lane, Hanskin did pick up that Invis rune. Oh, misses the stun there though. Not sure they're gonna hit the kill anyways, but we'll just whiff it.
Yeah, so I He just got, there's no way that Mickey went for like an outplay or anything there.
Yeah.
It's just pure chance, honestly.
And with Nut, that's the thing. Actually, the stun's harder than you think at melee range to hit if you don't have Aftershock. People don't realize Aftershock's like the thing that makes Earthshaker so good and so easy to hit all his abilities. Ooh, 5-minute runes, and we have both bottom running for it. Do we have a push away? Not quite yet. Who picks it up? It will be Nico, baby, actually. Taiga taking a lot of damage. He will have a slide up again in 5, but Box just right-clicks him.
Boxy's got to be a little bit careful. There's still chains available, and yeah, he's going to get chained up. He doesn't really have his purge yet. Press the attack just came back up, but he's also spending a ton of money on regen himself.
Yeah, 2 healing salves, and he has a Helm of Iron Will already.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty good advantage, I feel, laning phase-wise for Alliance. You can already see mid, Limp is level. He's actually just crushed this lane. This lane was not close at all.
Limp doing TA things with his TA, and even that Siege already pulling down on that middle tower. Hanskin's actually rolling through. There will be a stun. Yep, there's the trap. There's the stun. S4 says, you know what? I need some gold as well. Quick TB, and actually Insane. He probably won't die, but he's going to eat a lot of damage there.
And all 3 heroes rotate in for this. And Storm is a really important hero for Liquid to do well. And so far, so bad, as this middle tower, I think, might just go down. There's a regen rune bottom for Limp too if he wants it.
It's gone. That's a 6-minute middle tower.
Yeah, and as a team that focuses a lot on controlling this mid tower, this is pretty big. And bottom, it's doing okay. Like, in fact, they're winning, but they're not winning hard enough, I feel.
Yeah. And Proxy about it at level 5, but when does this, I mean, is it really just like this level 6? Is that when you become potent, obviously, right? With the duel and the ulti from Skyrath? Or should Skyrath think about moving lanes already? Or does he just have to stick here and help him win it?
I think he's going to stick here and help him win it. Okay. Or he's going to try his best doing so. But Nico Baby has confused raindrops. He's going to get silenced here. Might just die. He's ready. He's got more charges, but
he does. He uses them. Right clicks down. No, they run him down, and there's a little bit of something needed. That tier 1 tower so poorly, but top lane, Mickey. Obviously, he is the life stealer, so he will have that rage.
It's really this mid lane, though, that has gone absolutely terribly. Storm just picked up bottle at 7 minutes, and he has no other items, no other farm. I don't know what his prospects are of ganking.
It's tough. It feels like you might just have to, if someone gets engaged on, you just got to TP and hope you get some golden experience from it, maybe. And
they're pinging towards Zibe here, but he's got vision up there already, and he's even going to D-ward for this.
Yep. Wow. Oh, we're trading heads. Everyone's just trading everything. Middle lane, a lot of damage. See you later, quick bump. Man, we've seen that time and time again. This Nature's Prophet ultimate does so much damage. Uh-oh. Hanskin looking for Taiga. Taiga will just fly away, though.
And he just didn't see that coming. You could see that he was in the animation of getting his ulti off and just barely did not make it.
And that's one of the tough things, especially the Storms, who when you're playing against, like, these Earth Shakers, even these Embers, right? They get these long-range disables on you, and you don't even see them coming.
Yeah, this is kind of the downside of, like, showing your mid-hero so early. You can just get counterpicked. I think laning phase-wise, though, this should have gone better for him. This was him just simply getting outplayed by the TA. Like, he copped 10 or 11 Sideblade hits in the laning phase, which is usually how you know whether you're going to win or lose your lane.
Legion does have that duel now, so we might see if they want to make a play with that, or if he will just stay in that bottom lane possibly. You got to always watch out, because that's 4. He's ready to TP, and he is going for that Blade Mill build.
I like it.
I like it. And for intelligence here especially, right? 38 damage, the 28 plus
damage,
the 10. Big stuff.
Something to note, though, is like S4's levels aren't amazing.
Yeah, level 6.5, should get 7 up here. Mickey, he is the top net worth in the game, surprisingly, on his lifesteal at 4K. Doing a very good job of farming the lane and also farming the jungle.
Yeah, I just can't stress how farmed Limp is, though. Yeah. He's almost level 9 already.
Oh, they're looking for the top here. He doesn't want to use the sprouts. He knows just get quelling through, and I don't think you can bring him down. Here comes Hanskin. Throws up stun. He actually blocks
Mickey's
it
on the
as
wrong
well.
side of it.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble. He will get stunned up again. This might just be a kill. No, he jumps in quick. Then Quakefa flies away. The teamwork makes the dream work, and it looks like they'll make it out. Oh, my goodness. Maybe not, though. They could continue to chase here, and Sanya's like, yo, I'll do my best to defend you guys, but
3 seconds left for a stun, and they're chasing for this. Hanskin He's got the angle if he wants it. I don't think they can continue to chase. Limp does have...
Oh, but wait, here comes the Ember. Maybe they should. He can jump out at Mickey. S4 TV's in as well. Will be Quakefoot going down. Mickey probably just gonna run away and be okay. But they do end up chasing the Storm Sphere
Bottom
down.
lane?
Bottom, they are looking. It's gonna be Zibe. Is this the duel? Do you just want the damage? Seems like you do. We have one more nuke. It's enough. Winner, winner. Eco Baby, though. He could double kill you. You gotta be careful. Taiga taking a lot of damage, and he's more than likely just gonna die. Boxy, he does have press the attack. He's gonna have to save it for that next chains, or he'll just run away with the shovel in his backpack off cooldown.
Yeah, he's just gonna run. Yeah. He's okay. I think again Alliance is okay with this trade. Yeah. They don't lose the tower. It's only a keep of the light. You get the Skyrath Mage, who's the kill combo. Middle. Hanskin's got to be a little bit careful here, but he does have a haste rune, so he's also eating the royal jelly, by the way.
Dang, he's like, nah, I'll be taking that. Yeah, him and the TA.
I think Nico Baby found it and he gave it to his team. Pretty selfless.
Wow, it is.
I
should you as an Ember?
I don't know. I would take it.
I'm sorry. Usually, it's nice being a good teammate, but that's pretty damn good on your hero.
But I think the reasoning is you're gonna always be the recipient of the chakra magic, anyways.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense actually. Bottom, they're looking at and Boxy will just purge it off. Even dodges the running horses, and he will just pressure in that tower. Koikva trying to get back into the game top lane. And this TA, the one we talked about, now the highest net worth, very close to a Deso, only 1,000 away, and all of a sudden,
massive.
Roche is threatened, all your heroes are threatened. Pretty much the map, it feels like it closes when that item comes if you're on Dire. Boxy will just continue to keep farming out. He did get that one duel victory, so a little extra damage. What do you do then if you're Liquid? We already tried, we saw Quakefoot try to, gank top. It didn't work out very well. Do you just maybe group up, go for bottom tower, or are you forced to just try to do this 3-man farm around the map?
I think as soon as Quakefoot gets treads, you should just fight. You are, the TA has doubled you in net worth. In fact, more than that. He has more than doubled you. He has like 400 gold on top of that. So I don't think he's going to get back into this game by purely farming. I think he just has to get like one item and just go for it, because right now the way that the game is progressing, I think you're just going to lose by default because this TA is going to hit such a good timing. Like, it's 12 minutes in, she has 300 gold away from Deso, and she eats everybody alive. Like, Stealer's going to die in like 2 hits. The Skyrath Mage has 2 armor. Just for context, like,
you're getting 3 or 4 shots easily.
Yeah,
if not quicker. Bottom Zibe is going to TP out, so it looks like they might be giving up this bottom tier 1 tower.
Like, when she hits him with the side blade, he's gonna have -10 armor on Taiga.
A decent amount of minus armor.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit.
It's just a small, a smidge.
Yep, smidgen. What? Nature's Prophet does have the blade mill, going for an Orchid's next. A full Bloodthorn he has queued up, by the way. Not even just the Orchid.
Nice timing for it is gonna be really nice. They're gonna need to get more items.
Smoke Top, Limp Handskin as well as the Keeper of the Light. They're going into Roche. And there's actually a really good word from Liquid. They were smoked up, and S4 TP'd in. They see none of this happening. This is a slick play from Alliance.
Yeah, they know they want a Roche, but I don't think they could fight it even if they knew.
Yeah. We'll get that bottom tier 1 tap. So, man, that's the OG trade. The tier 1 tower from Roche. It used to be, nowadays it's like tier 2, but...
Yeah, let's say 13-minute Roche. She's almost got Blink now. I think she's just going to chunk supports left and right now.
Feels like the TA could just... If we're on the same course 5 minutes from now, this could be a very good game for Limp. A great game.
Yeah, I think... if I'm honest, like, as a caster, like, I'll tell you, like, any game is winnable in Dota. But as their coach, I'll say, like, yeah, this draft was maybe not it. Because I just don't see how team fights are going to be won when you're at this big of a disadvantage.
No. I will say the two of the top 3 net worth are on there, and there's Boxy. He has the blink there. They're actually going to fight it for. Do they have damage to at least get the kill? They may have got the kill. You need to take on the blade. There's going to be a nice Ignis Handskin with the ulti. Hits onto Crystal. They might be the next one to fall. He will limp. Double kill, and he could be going for Rampage in all honesty. Taiga goes down to Nico, baby. The creep, Mickey. Goodbye. This is an absolute turnaround. This looks like last game, but the other team. This is an absolute beatdown right now.
Yeah, I think this is a much better draft by Alliance. Like they got most of the meta heroes, honestly.
And then you see the replay here. It looked like a good play, but the problem is he dueled. No one else hit S4 until the very end of the duel.
S4's not, he's not an easy kill, yeah. He's got wand charges, he's got
chainmail with the blade mail,
yeah, he's got 16 armor. Like, how are you meant to kill this guy?
Unless you already have people on top of him, because the Skywrath ulti didn't come out quite in time, and it was just a straight up 4 for 0, plus a buyback from the Crystal Maiden. And now the problem, Boxy, level 9. Surprisingly, Koikla is level 11, but you just look at this TA, level 14 with 8.2k net worth, Blink Dagger, and 200 gold.
Yeah, right now it's definitely Alliance's game to lose at this point. Because Liquid, they can't really kill anybody, as we've seen before. Nico Baby's hanging around mid. It looks like he wants to make a play. He's got a Blink Dagger.
Oh, there's going to be the duel, but I believe, well,
that's damage.
That's damage to Nico Baby. And yeah, Ember Spirit, he'll definitely be taking that.
On what face?
Yeah, that was... Wow.
What was that?
I don't know. Limph, I honestly do not know. Bottom, Limph's gonna push in the tower. You go for the tier 2 as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think about honestly going for the base with this lead in the death zone?
I don't think that Liquid can hold you back, if I'm honest. I think this game is...
It depends. Will the siege unit stay alive from the split shot? It will. Oh no. Taiga gets done, throws down his ulti. Hanskin actually does end up missing that enchant totem. Storm's gonna jump forward. Nico Baby, one more right click will be enough. He gets frozen in place, then but on the other side of things, Hanskin trying to run away, trapped up by S4. They want to chase his Earthshaker. He already has the blade. And Boxy just dead immediately. There's the Ignis pulling them all in again. I don't know if your team's an early GG team, but this feels like it's curtains. They are at your base. 16 minutes.
He's found him.
He did. He TP's in Koikla. He has one more. Oh, S4. He's back, baby. Dancing on the haters inside the base, and he's out here. He's like, you know what? I'll go farm top lane. Y'all can push middle. And this is, wow, 15-2. It really is just the opposite of last game. You see the initiation, and you also see why Coddle might be a pretty good hero as he pulls in 4 heroes very easily. Such a good ultimate, and paired with the Ember, as you said, Ember becomes a 10 times better hero with that Coddle behind him. It's crazy.
Yes, he gets to permanently just jump in and out. Has like the searing chains pretty much.
And now TA flying out another mithril hammer. This net worth 10k at 17 minutes. Limp, masterclass performance. Boxy gonna try to defend, just pushes the creep, so they don't look like they want to go for the base quite. Maybe if they get a peg up on lifesteal, that's a pretty tough one. He has the orc. They jump forward, instantly plunge it out. He needs to get locked up. There's the jump, there's the kill. See you later, Insania and Mickey. I don't think you even want to continue to fight this. T just running towards the Aegis. It's a double chain by Nico Baby, and it's a slaughtering. My God, they will take it. I don't blame them. That was an absolute ass beating right now.
Oh, 100%. That was not close.
This, I mean, well, I know PSJ's like, I want to see, or someone's like, I want to see a 3-game series, but can they not be one-sided? Well, you get the, well, we're going to get a 3-game series.
Yes.
But those first 2 games were just
stomp.
Ooh.
It's just stomp trades.
It is straight up. It is going to be hard.
5 seconds. Just who will die? It's Radiant's turn to ban. It's Dire's? What's Radiant's ban plan anyway? It's Dire's turn to ban. What's Radiant's ban plan anyway?
Farther behind in the draft, and then you look at your artwork that you've created and it's just a piece of crap.
Okay.
It really is that way to some extent, but like
I don't know what art classes you attended, but Gods, what do you think?
I mean, I think that's definitely part of it. I think also the other thing is just having maybe the wrong idea about why you won previous games. Like they go back for the CM Storm. They moved it from being like a 4th pick Storm to a first 2. I think just they kind of look at that and say, hey, Storm's a really good hero. We want to make sure we get it and they don't ban it. But at the same time, the reason it was a good hero is because of when they picked it in the draft.
Did we not, I'm not saying like to toot our horn, but did we not predict who won that draft in the first 2 picks? Both games. And then what I'm saying is how important your opener is. You have to get off to a decent start of a core strategy that's not abusable, that's gonna just do its thing. Like that's the thing. It's gonna set up a game plan that in the current meta is good. It's like the first draft, they banned Mirana, picked the Phoenix, and had like the good team fight going while the other team picked Chen. And we're like, we don't really like what Chen brings to this meta right now. It seems pretty bad. And then it's like, I don't know. It seems so easy when you're watching, but there is so much that goes into it. I'm not trying to say like, wow, these guys are stupid, they're just bad or whatever. Like I couldn't do much better, any better myself. Sorry.
I couldn't do much
I couldn't do any better. I said that wrong. I'm actually serious. I couldn't do any better myself. But it's just like, it's just crazy though when you watch the games and you're just like, God, that just doesn't look like it's supposed to work compared to what the opponent's doing. And you do out-mind game yourself sometimes in the draft, and I think Team Liquid kind of did that to themselves this game, and I think Alliance did that to themselves last game.
I think the one thing that helped both teams who won their drafts was that they had first pick as well. It kind of, puts you off to that kind of draft advantage where there's some heroes that second pick won a ban, which is the Coddle, I think, that, everyone's just first picking Coddle went in, or the Phoenix, perhaps, if you go back to game 1. So you have a draft edge there with the first pick, and then you get to counter everything. And we haven't seen any, wow factor 10th pick.
I think second pick is harder to pull off. It's not saying that it's worse. Like if you're both really, really, really solid in your drafts, I think second pick is fine. But the reason is that second pick requires you to have 4 heroes that are, as a unit, good and not that hard counterable, while first pick requires you to just make sure you account for that absolute last pick, but then just kind of counterpick them 1 for 1 as you swap throughout the draft. And it's much easier to counterpick what you currently see than to make sure like your own heroes are not countered by something left in the pool. I personally think, at least. So.
Well, Liquid have gone from fedoras to walking canes.
Yes,
the
this
hipster
is
shit continues.
this is some business associate level of hipster. Almost certainly going to see a wyvern. We haven't seen that very much at all, but I'd be pretty shocked if this is not a wyvern response from Alliance.
Yeah, I think the one nice thing it does is it does push Alliance towards some of those, slightly less common supports like the wyvern. Like otherwise, they could be doing something, more to their strengths.
Doesn't really seem like much of an inconvenience.
A wyvern or Rubik, like you're really upset about either one of those heroes.
You can even do both.
Sure.
I think the scary thing the Enigma might stop is a really good Timbersaw game for Boxy. You could secure his lane with the range creep denies, and if Alliance don't first do something that you're afraid of as a Timbersaw, you could just confidently perhaps second pick that Timbersaw, because that's been banned the previous 2 games. So this is the first game where that is available to them.
Wyvern seems way too good here. It's a counter to the black hole. It's a save for your death prophet. I hope whatever hero they pick, if it's not Wyvern, does sort of fit that description. At least one of the two descriptions. So it's either a counter to Black Hole or it's a save. So you could do like Rubik Oracle, meaning you pick a Rubik now, and yeah, Wyvern is too good. I'd be shocked if they didn't pick it. And then at this point, I think you want to establish a threat to the Wyvern Cold Embrace, because...
So you want some magic damage.
Yeah, you want...
Something that punishes that hero for sitting there.
Yeah, you might pick like Mars now, because it's a stable hero, and then you pick like the Pugnas later.
You know who punishes that really well?
What?
Skywrath me.
Oh, yeah! It does.
Run it back.
Joking, of course.
3 Atos, baby.
This should be a Taiga Enigma, so... looking for Boxy or Insania's hero here, most likely. But yeah, I'm always down with the Mars when I see that Death Prophet. Any other like solo offlaners just because of the Enigma?
How does Lesh lane against Death Prophet?
I have no idea.
So that is a counter, absolutely, to the Wyvern Cold Embrace.
And the Spirit Siphon.
That's actually a really good pick. I don't know how I didn't see that.
Makes plenty of sense, yeah.
Bit of a passive support duo, though. So you will need some stuns and some setup for the AA, and you'll need some low cooldown stuff to alleviate the push threat of the DP while you have an Enigma Black Hole cooldown. He's going to be much less about the Black Hole, I guess, because you are dealing with the Wyvern. Pretty unreliable to ever get a good Black Hole off as long as Wyvern is alive. So the two options are to get really late game where you get BKB Lincolns, or to pick perhaps the Storm Spirit again, something that is entirely intended to jump and assassinate the Wyvern.
We've seen Enigmas who just like forsake the protection entirely and go for more like teamfight aura items and Mech Guardian Greaves.
I'm pretty surprised they did not ban Spectre on the side of Team Liquid. I think Spectre is incredibly good versus Enigma, and it's incredibly good versus Ancient Apparition. So I will be keeping an eye out for Spectre. They may save their last pick for Nico Baby again, but I also wouldn't mind if Team Liquid reveals their offlaner third, that Alliance fourth picks either Spectre or Monkey King comes to mind. These are the cores that I love against Enigma in lane as well as in game. And is there anything else? Maybe Gyrocopter, but I don't like Gyro into A. It's actually pretty tough because you always stand your ground and just get blasted.
Medusa is annoying to play
Oh,
against.
Medusa. That's a great one. I always forget about that hero because honestly in NA you just don't see it at all. It's because we're too good for these AFK farming heroes.
Yeah, NA players, they don't just hate creeps.
Yeah, we're too good for that.
For some reason, it works too well with our terrible playstyle that we don't pick it, you know? All right, they take Mars for themselves.
So that pretty much guarantees the Death Prophet should be going. I guess could theoretically be a 4 position, but it likely will be Nico Baby's hero for last on the side of Alliance.
I would be too shocked if they put it forward just because of the fact that AA is just so good against you. But
so you'd rather see it get kind of demoted in farm priority.
I wouldn't hate it if you pick do shit heroes here.
And it doesn't hurt that you have all of those stuns. Pango is one of the first
Pango
heroes that came to mind.
Wyvern though?
Yeah, that's a problem.
I like Wyvern against Pango.
I guess it's like, hey, who are you gonna use Winter's Curse on? Because there's also an Enigma Black Hole to worry about, so maybe they're just thinking,
That's
like,
true.
hey, let's create multiple threats for the Winter's Curse.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be very smart about his Winter's Curse usage, because the minute it's down, Enigma and Pango feel much better in the fights. I have to imagine Pango will buy a Blink against these heroes. It's very hard to ever like swashbuckle in and proceed to use anything.
You've got ways around the Mars arena, both in Shield Crash and Rolling Thunder. And I think another important thing is what hero takes advantage, what hero can solo offlane, and
like,
also uses the solo experience, right? And I think Pango fits that pretty nicely.
Okay, I can get behind it.
But we'll see if he gets punished by the safe lane carry pick.
Yeah, I have to imagine that I still love the Spectre pick. And it's weird though, because unless that's a 4 position DP, you're setting yourself up for last pick carry, right? So that's why this Mars pick to me is honestly a bit strange. I guess you're kind of deny picking it. You're fearful that Team Liquid is most likely going to pick their 3 next, so you don't want to give them what would be considered the most meta offlaner in the game. But you're in this awkward spot now where it's like, we have a really good carry pick that we could pick here, but then we don't really have a... We're not going to last pick our 4, so they do go for the Rubik. Pseudo... or we said Wyvern and Rubik, actually. We just said you could do both, so that makes sense. For whatever reason, I got mixed up there. But now you have the multiple ways to counter the Enigma.
I like getting either your support or offlane here better, or your mid here better, just because I think the Spectre is too vulnerable to what the remaining 2 liquid heroes are. They still need to pick their carry, their mid. They could do a lot of heroes that can cause Spectre problems, like
Rubik
the
is really good
reflection, and there's plenty of counter picks available.
I don't mind what you're right. I agree with your sentiment there, and we had been talking about Rubik ever since they even picked the Enigma. So the fact that you're getting it this later on the draft is pretty good. It's just a well-paired matchup or lane partner with the Mars and
Well, I wanted
Razor?
a hero that kind of ran at them and played frontline. I was thinking maybe a Viper, but Razor fits a similar story in that.
Against DP seems pretty nice in lane. Maybe putting it against Mars, but then you have the lift plus the spear to break the link. So I'd much rather it be mid.
We've actually seen Death Prophet do okay versus Razor mid. There was at least one game we had that matchup here.
But what about with 2 base damage less, gods?
True.
That swung the matchup. It's over.
Yep, it's done.
Razor's
I
got
actually
it,
don't know. I'm just
Yeah, I have no idea. And that's also a 1-game sample size that I recall from this tournament where the Death Prophet went kind of 50-50 with Razor mid.
It seems like a bit of a skill-based matchup. These aren't what you would usually consider mechanically difficult heroes, but I think both of them have similar issues. They can't really tank the creep wave, but yet they both have decent trade mechanics, so it's like whoever keeps better lane equilibrium, better creep aggro, I think would probably win the lane. I think both heroes are capable of winning against each other. Ember banned out. Just another meta hero. I'm digging the Wraith King for liquid. Something with a stun.
That's exactly. It just feels like they have no way to start a fight. Have a hero that actually kind of runs in and sets things up, like the Ember with the Searing Chains. Pengo has that ability to run in with his ultimate, but that's a longish cooldown ultimate.
Especially when you have Ice Blast, right? Like, you want very clear setup for this ability, because it could just as easily miss, and AA has no impact in the team fight.
For sure.
I think the relying on only Black Hole and then maybe Rolling Thunder as a somewhat reliable stun is not it's not the best setup. You want a faster hero than that plays.
You definitely need a dangler right now. You just need a good old walk in there, as you said, gods. You just didn't word it as elegantly as I did.
Yes, dangler. Very elegant.
That is a term not in my...
Oh, and the Spectre, yeah, it's really good ban.
I think that's where they banned the... Basically, they targeted Nikobe with 2 bans, expecting his hero to be last pick. So even though they knew Void was probably not going to be picked in the second phase, essentially they got to ban both Void and Spectre to prevent them being last picked.
That's why I'm surprised you picked Mars, because I really think you weren't getting Spectre last, and I think it's so good against a Enigma that you should be content getting it 4th, even if it gets slightly countered by the other 2 heroes. But needless to say, I'm sure they have something else up their sleeve.
Speaking of Wraith King, I can see Alliance loving it.
That's partially why I like it. That's partially why. And yoiks, stun. Looks like a safe lane Razor, mid Pango, and off lane Slardar is what I'm...
You sure it's not safe lane Slardar?
If they do safe lane Slardar, I will immediately pick Alliance to win this game.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it's not, but I will immediately pick them to win the game.
I'm a fan of this Slardar pick. I think it gives them what they needed as far as the just low cooldown stun, set up for the Ice Blast, way to start a fight, amp up the physical damage.
Peel or... Oh, there's the Wraith King. Okay, so they do go Wraith King. I forgot that hero was in the pool because we kind of just assumed... I thought it was... I called it for Liquid, but you're right. It is very good for Alliance here. You do have the link from Razor.
All right, BSJ, sorry, I can't hear from you anymore. It's going to be safe lane Slardar.
His prediction's in.
His prediction is in. Gods, you have the field now.
I was hoping it was going to be an offlane Slardar because I like Alliance's draft. I think the Wraith King is perfect for this game, even with the link in play. I think if Wraith King has a good game, gets his free farm, hits up the jungle, you know, I'm feeling it. Channeling my inner NA pub carry player. He's going to just farm his way to victory.
And Insania came. He woke up this morning. He took a shower, looked in the mirror, and said, "I'm looking cute today," and did it again here. And
you're still trying to make that work, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, Insania. What are you doing, buddy? Okay, good luck, Liquid. I think Alliance has it, but I'm glad to be wrong.
All right, well, cute in person, cute in the draft. Insania has a bunch of surprises for us in game 2 and 3. Didn't work out so well the first time. We'll go better in game 3. We'll see It's going to be Grant, and Blitz, not BSJ.
Indeed, a game number 3, Alliance versus Liquid, and the drafts. You've got Alliance running these, as we like to say, very, very meta heroes. On the other side, Liquid mixing it up. We got a carry Slardar, a 4 Enigma, middle Razor. We got some stuff. We have got some stuff.
We certainly have stuff. That's a really good way to put it.
I mean, who are you looking at? We see the odds right there. At this point, Alliance is more value than the friggin' Great Value brand itself. Like, Blitz, would you agree with these odds?
No, I think actually Alliance might be a little bit ahead.
A little bit? Okay, well, what would you say, honestly? Because it's not like BSJ thinks this is a 90-10 draft. Where do you put it?
BSJ thinks it's a 90-10 draft. 75-20.
Well, he literally said he would never pick them. They have no chance of winning. So to me, that's 100-0. I was actually being nice with a 90-10, but what do you think?
90-10, huh? I'm not sure.
I mean, well, okay, so let's break it down then. What is Liquid's win condition here with this? Is it just, you know, get to the late game and you do have this black hole, you have this Pango, or do you have to play fast because you have a Razor and a Slardar?
I think you have to play really fast if you have a Razor and a Slardar.
Okay.
Oh, they're talking to each other. Ready, check. Some Swedish.
Indeed.
You know, I'll give you insider info on what that's about.
Okay.
For the past like 10 years of them like playing together, they always go in a party and they ready check each other. Mickey and Hanskin.
Yeah.
So they're friends. They just like get in a party, and when they're in an official, they ready check each other.
Just to make sure. I like it, you know? It's good, you know? Friendly, even though, you know, sometimes, you know, these two Liquid Alliance, they have some beef over some stuff, but in the game, the players are here. Yeah, and it will be. Oh, Zibe.
He did not
End up getting it up now. He might be in a little trouble, but
that's for one top.
He did. Oh, Nico baby will come defend his friend. So yeah, it is going to be a 3 for. You're right. That was close to being a 4 for Blitz.
It was a click war.
It was
the 4th one, which is pretty rare. Wraith King is such an interesting hero because I feel like he plays too slow in this current meta. But if he just gets the farm, I mean, he's going to carry this game. I feel like default. And I think a lot of its heroes get countered. Like, I think the Wyvern and the Rubik obviously counter the Enigma, but I think this Rubik is also very good against Slardar. In fact, all their heroes are bad against Wyvern. Aside from, like, AA. AA is obviously very good, but... yeah, Pango is bad against Wyvern. Enigma's bad for obvious reasons. You get your Black Hole canceled no matter what. Slardar, because you can't burst. Rubik is really good against all these heroes too. Yeah. He has so many things he can steal. He can steal Ball, he can steal the Slardar Crush. He always gets the lift against Slardar too.
Yeah. Well, we'll just see. In that top lane is there dueling, and then bottom. So it is you do say this Wyvern is great against him. It is a position 5 Wyvern, right? So it's going to be all about his positioning. He's not really going to have items to do stuff with. So we'll have to watch out for him. And then, oh, Boxy is getting beat down. Obviously does have that swashbuckle. Doesn't want to use it because he knows if he uses it, his lane's just over for that cooldown.
And you can see Taiga just farming around this mid area. But this is something that I think Alliance should know is happening, / see coming.
Yeah. All right. And then middle lane. This was the lane that really got out of control last game, obviously, with that Link and PA just doing some crazy stuff. Lift will get held under that tower. Loses 30 damage here. Who favorite is this? I wanted to say it's Razor a little bit, but am I wrong in that?
No, I think Razor's favorite here.
Okay.
Just because when you're linking each other, obviously the damage hits a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird interactions where DP, for the most part, likes this Spirit Siphon, and this is like one of the few matchups where it doesn't really benefit her that much.
Yeah. Plus 0-0, still 2 minutes in. S4 and Hanskin harassing out Mickey, but it looks like Insania will be able to get that free pull off. See if they want to try to challenge it up a little bit. Now Hanskin will roll over that way, but Insania defending that pull. Well, the Enigma still just jungling boots first. Tons of clarity. Clarities seem to, I will say, for jungle Enigma. Wait, there's going to be a level on middle. It's going to be Lincoln hit him. And here come the little dudes, the Eidolons. He goes for the block, but instead he's kind of just feeding away a little bit of experience here.
Yeah, that does not go in their favor. Let me say, level 1 Eidolons and level 1 stun
Are
is not
bad.
Yeah, that's not a game changer.
Yeah.
Quite yet. I'd prefer to see Taiga just farm.
Yeah, get that greed. I mean, we've seen him, I believe it was the major a little bit ago when he had that crazy Enigma game. You know what he can do when he gets that farm. The key is getting to that point in the game.
Yeah, I just think laning wise, like top lane I think is favorable for S4.
Yeah, ooh.
Like I don't think he can die here. He'd have to really mess up. Look at this, he just hits him back.
And it's completely okay, as you say. Radiant structures fortified. Looks like pushing into the mid lane he wanted to. And Limp, yeah, diving that tower will salve up, and now he does get the block. It is a max plasma field, and all of a sudden, Limp is going to get turned around. Now the level 1 stun, it looks like it will be enough. Oh, yeah,
yes.
Gets them. That's a big one for them there, because you do commit a lot, as you say, with that Enigma, but now he can go back to the jungle, and all of a sudden, Koifa, he's feeling a little bit better.
And bottom lane is going okay for Boxy. So laning phase is alright-ish.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, mid lane is like, they're griefing each other right now.
They really are, and well,
Look at this. You have one guy with 9 CS, one guy with 10 CS, and they're actually just like running at each other nonstop. No one's getting levels here. In fact, they're like behind each other when it comes. They're behind like their safe laners almost when it comes to XP.
yeah.
Which is pretty like unheard of.
It is. We've seen that Death Proud's been diving past the tower. The Enigma, you always have to be careful for. There is a ward now. Zibe just placed middle lane, so he has a little bit more vision of what's going on there. But Taiga is still just chilling.
It's almost like neither of them are trying to win like the lane.
Yeah. Oh,
They're just trying to ruin each other's game.
Yeah. Oh man, all that damage. I was saying Boxy, Nico baby almost just dies to that straight up swashbuckle.
But his game is still very good.
Yeah, it is.
He's got the most CS in the game right now.
Yeah, what do you need? So what do you want to see him do? Do you want to see him go the Armlet Radiance? Because that's what it seemed like the successful play from earlier Europe was. Or do you think if you're farming this well, you do actually just go Radiance straight up?
I think you can just go Radiance straight up. You can go phase boots into Radiance if you have absolute farm like this, and you don't die, especially here.
Ooh, they're going to try to dive Boxy. They don't want him to get all this experience under the tower, and they can somehow bring him down. He doesn't have a swashbuckle. He has a mango swashbuckle. Will he get it in time? Oh, Nico baby with the backswing. Didn't quite get the attack off now, but middle. Quite run Limp once again, as you said, trading into each other top lane. S4 gets the spear back. AK doesn't get stunned. S4 doesn't go down, and everyone survives. Everyone getting so low in every lane, but no one quite dropping yet.
I mean, this is going to be a Mars that gets to play against a bunch of people that right-click him from the front. Like, this is going to be a really nice Mars game.
At bottom, the tower is going down. It will drop bubbles.
There's some tips coming out. I don't actually know how that happens, honestly.
Yeah, the tower was getting attacked. The tower was actually destroying the Winter Wyvern. He went from like to 200 HP just eating tower hits, and then they just line up and box. I gotta say, nice use of the targeting there. Hit both of them perfectly. In his game, well, might have just gone way up. Meanwhile, the AA top is getting right click. Phase boots there. And Senia will definitely be going down top. No, he gets bashed. He gets stunned. Taiga middle won't be able to get a kill. And okay, and Senia makes it out. Mars now getting right clicked.
And he's got spear. He's got mana. They're gonna win this regen trade up at top. Like, this is favorable for Mars as it stands. And even despite the 3-0 kill score, in fact, the gold is still in favor for Alliance, so they're doing just fine. Yeah, there's even 2 bounty runes here that I think Zibe, if he sees this first one, he's going to grab the other one, and they'll get even further ahead.
Oh, and he's going to look at Taiga. Was like,
no, though, he's going to know that like neither of them were taken.
Yeah, that's nice for the side of Alliance. And you do not see that bottom tower go down this early almost ever, right? You always usually see them rotate up top and take that tier 1. So what does this do to the map? Does it really do anything losing that bottom tier 1 this early, or is it really not that big?
So that you can't counter rotate for when Boxy gets dove like that. Okay. But that's like 500 gold that
it is a lot of team gold, yeah.
Just gained for the 2 bounty runes.
And we see Boxy is trying to style on him now. Stun is getting thrown out. He does have the roll. He might need to use it before he gets right click down. No, he just dies.
Boxy?
Question mark? Top lane, they're diving in. Mickey running at hands, getting limbs here. He does it as Ultini pops it. Not the start to level 1, but it is still very strong. S4 just saying, you know, I'll try to help, but I can't really.
He's saying I'm out of here, and the tips come out. I think Boxy should have had a kill, by the way, on Wyvern, almost certainly.
Yeah.
And instead, he kind of just gave up.
A lot of golden, dude. I think the one here you don't want to give him a lot of golden experience to in a game, right? It's slow paced. Is this Wraith King? Because he's gonna just come online so much quicker with all that gold.
Yeah, I don't think you want to get to like 200 HP and then start rolling up
And then get right
into a ball by the. Then he just got hit like. That was the easiest kill I think Nico Baby's ever had. He actually just right-clicked it.
He's like, oh, okay, cool.
That's free.
I'll take it.
Not terrible for Liquid. I think that top dive by Limp was a little bit unnecessary and a little bit too much. He's like had a really rough game though. Only 31 CS, 0 and 2. Like his net worth is really rough right now. Like he's even behind the 4 Enigma for context.
Yeah, very greedy on that Enigma. Almost level 7 now after this camp. Seems like Alliance wants to maybe pressure this tier 1 tower top. Do you like the Wraith King just chilling bottom and farming? Is that okay, or do you want him to kind of help out and push top?
No,
like
you want him to farm like he is right now.
Okay.
Like the worst thing about Boxy's death at bottom is that it just gave him so much space and free gold.
Yeah.
And they don't really have anything now because they had to commit the Black Hole to top for this Wraith King to get pressured. Like he's already built up 1,800 gold, and he's gonna have a very, very fast Radiance. Like he has Iron Talon coming too.
Yeah, he just sent his Ocean Heart home. He said, you guys can have it. Give me that Talon. 10 minutes is coming up. This feels like a pretty big time because it is the bounty. It's not just that, it is the outpost as well. And experience in a game like this where we're seeing a lot of 3 to 4 man fights already. You want those supports to get that extra experience.
Oh, 100%. We saw Alliance in game number 1 not take either of them.
It hurt.
Boxy's sticking around. He likely has to give this outpost up.
Yeah.
The only way he saves it is if he's like right there right now and he pango rolls. Otherwise, I think this one is done and dusted.
We do see Quakevo was actually running down that way as well, but they knew, Nico, baby, you're not trying to run into him.
Nah, he's not slick.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower has some
On the other side of things. So Slardar, what do you, it looks like he's going for a hood on the safe lane. I mean, what do you need to go on this carry Slardar? Is it just going for these kind of mid-game items and you're just going to try to roll over them, or?
Yeah, I think so. So they're going to go on S4 at top. I don't think he's going to die when he's in the tree line like this. And in fact,
He doesn't even
Onskin's going to come back. Yep. Bounty rune wise, Liquid is not doing a good job grabbing bounty runes.
Yeah, because look at, if that's Zibe, it is. I looked on the screen, like, if that's Zibe stealing this for the, what, 3rd time almost, he is owning on his winner Wyvern, getting a 10 team gold. Boxy will get the other one this time.
That ward is way too hyper efficient right now for Alliance. Like, it's been there. It's spotted 2 bounty runes now. It sees the Razor farming. And Death Prophet is slowly starting to catch up. He's got 62 CS to 58 on Quakevo.
Top lane, possibly going for a kill. S4 has his ulti. He will throw it up. Spear goes into the wall. Should be some damage. Black gets dodged by S4. Well played by him. But Mickey gets the bash out. S4 is Ichigo down? No, he won't, at least for now. But he's dying to that midnight pulse. Taiga finally brings him down. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
And he didn't want to walk up and Black Hole, but that's also worth it for Alliance. You'll gladly trade the Mars for the level 7 Slardar.
And guess what? Well, you got to blink on your Enigma now, so possible big plays incoming.
Dire's bottom tower is
We'll
under
see
attack.
Limp, meanwhile, just farming middle versus Point, but level 10 versus level 10 and 11, as you said. Kind of under-leveled on these middles just because they're both playing this kind of weird aggression against each other and even rotating around the map. You normally don't see these heroes do that.
Yeah, but I think Alliance is winning pretty hard right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because I think you have a lot of net worth tied up in your Enigma on Liquid, and I don't think he actually can carry this game. Like, there's a lot that counters him. There's so much that counters him. If he decides to go Linken's, because there's 2 single target spells that stop his Black Hole, it's not amazing.
Kill there.
Yeah, right click. And so, like, even if he gets BKB, you're gonna get Hole stolen. Like, you won't get it stopped, but you'll get it stolen, which is really rough. You have Wraith King, who I think is like, he loves these long cooldown ultis.
That's
like
how you always picked against Chrono, right?
Yeah, Chrono,
Die once, you're back.
He loves all that. And they don't really have the best burst damage to take him down twice either. Like the Razor and his Static Drain. That's looking pretty hard right now. I think if he keeps at this pace, I think Liquid will lose. just because of, by virtue of like their 3 cores having more farm than Liquid's 3 cores.
We are just watching. You see the Wraith King. Yeah, that net worth flying up to the top. This is Wraith King. Where are we at? Relic is purchasable, has 3.8, and he will. This is looking like about a 14 to 15 minute radiance here, depending on the skellies.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that Nico Baby loves. Like, the game is slowed down. His team doesn't need him to fight whatsoever. And he can just kind of sit and be unpressured and farm. And he loves it when he's ahead of the other carry. And if you just look at the sheer amount of farm that he has, he's got 2,000 more gold than Mickey. And importantly than that, he has so many levels above everybody else.
Having a good time right now. And
I mean, they're gathered around towards this bottom lane, but they don't have a tier 1, so no one can really TP. He's gonna get stunned.
Stunned up. Skeleton Sony will just fly away for now with that swashbuckle and make it out.
And they're smoked up in this side of the jungle, but they're not really getting anything here. Koikfa's getting a little...
I got a question, since we do finally have our first Wraith King after. Wait up, we might have a possible fight. The Relic! Oh, he got the Relic barely. The chicken goes down, but he did get his Relic. Ooh.
Yeah, but now they know they're all in the jungle, and they've wasted quite a bit of time here. Like, there's for just getting that courier that delivers the Relic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so Wraith King, right? One of the nerfs to him was the skeletons don't last 90 seconds anymore, it's 60. Is that a big deal, or do the skeletons normally die before then anyways? I didn't know about that because it's kind of a weird nerf.
I think it's pretty good. It's making it so that they can't just go for like tier 1 and
forever. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they see Nico Baby, but they're gonna whiff pretty hard.
Yeah, as you said, they're trying to bring him down, but it takes 2.
Yeah.
And he's almost level 20. He definitely doesn't want to skill his ult. He's like, yo, let me at least get level 12 on Wraith King, then I'll think about doing stuff.
And S4 is really happy right now because he knows that there's been this big rotation towards this top lane. Mickey is going towards bottom, and I think if Alliance wins this fight, if they end up taking this fight on the side of Liquid, I think they might just win straight up.
Start rolling it over.
Yeah, because this fight's pretty important. There's a Arcane Rune on Taiga, but he's going to get out of here now, and during this entire time, S4 is just farming top. Like, they're getting out-rotated, I'd say.
15-minute runes, and he spears him away, gets the bounty rune. Liquid will get the bottom 2 this time, so the Winter Wyvern not sneaking his way over this time. But they will get the counter ward here. That big one, you said this is kind of where they've been playing around because they have vision there. Well, no longer. So what are the plays that Liquid needs to make? Because clearly they don't have the late game. We can straight up say that right now. Maybe if, crazy black holes, but Slardar against Wraith King.
They really rely on the whole this game. But I think this game actually comes down to Liquid's... The black hole has to be huge, and he has to fill a lot of conditions. He has to not get it stolen. That's one. He has to also do so much stuff here.
Oh, that's Fork gonna spear away. He only steals 40 HP. They gotta pull in Fox. He just dies instantly. No, he dodges a kill on the Koikfa as well, and now Insania's gonna try to run, but nah, Len with the Yule defense. So much move speed. Goodbye. Triple kill, and Nico Baby gets the tower. His Radiance will be here very shortly, and even Boxy's courier goes down with the Dragon Scale. I feel like that fight just shifted it. You said they need to win a fight, and they didn't. Alliance 3-0 in that one, and a tier 1 tower.
And he's got Radiance, and they've got mid tower. Like, the mid tower that Liquid wanted really bad is just going to be taken by Alliance. Going to come up here. You see Boxy just
he got shredded by the DP ulti. If you're in melee range of DP and she's someone that goes, he will immediately attack you. Yeah, they dive. Get that kill on Insania, and even Nigo was like, and I'll take the tower.
Denied mid by Taiga.
So a little bit something, actually. They were 2K gold, now only 1K. You deny another big chunk of gold there. But as you said, we got to see what this first big black hole can do, because it seems like Alliance might just push top lane in.
I just don't think that Slardar is going to outcarry Wraith King. I think that Death Prophet is also stronger. And I think the 2 supports from Alliance counter. Like, as long as, again, Hanskin's only job in this game is to steal Black Hole and not get Black Hole himself.
Okay.
If he does that, this game's really straightforward for him. Yeah.
Pupil's gift picked up there by a Lamp Hill to get 13 strength, always nice.
There's a reason why I think Wyvern and Rubik works here. It's because Wyvern will always be able to stop the black hole
And you'll always
with the
be able to
curse,
steal it.
and then during that time he can't cast anything else, right?
Yeah.
So you're
Is it? It will be the Malefice. So now you got another stun on Rubik as well.
still 2 cores dead, and all you traded was the Wraith King ulti, and the pace of this game, like I said, is just way too favorable for Alliance for Liquid to win.
It's gonna ramp up here because Death Product, guess what? That was a no ulti fight. DP just got level 15 and has the ulti again. Grovebow found by that Enigma. Coming in, do we have the silence? Do we even need the silence? Yeah, they'll throw it out because he does have the next survival. It is a nice 2-man crush. Chaos League, oh no, there's the black hole. Instantly cursed, and it's a stolen. We have the black hole, but he does get bashed up. Looks like he might even just hold on to it. I don't think he wants to use it yet. And oh man, this is looking like another. Yeah, this looks like another. Oh, I hate to say it, but a very one-sided game in this series because Alliance, everything's coming up A.
Yeah, this game I think might just be. I think it's been done for about 10 minutes now, honestly. I don't think they can get pressure out onto this Wraith King. I don't think they can take a second life. And I think as long as the two supports literally have to get Black Hole together. That's honestly the only way that this goes okay for them.
And you see that it was a good Black Hole. There wasn't a winner wyvern, but there is a winner wyvern. So unfortunately, it's not quite by getting chased down at this bottom bounty in the spear. He does dodge it, and because he has 3 points in the Storm Surge, he's able to kind of just go away. Boxy rolling on in now, does hit S4. Finally, will they be able to at least bring S4 down? He has a lot of minus armor. It's only at 2 right now, and they do bash him, and they will get this kill. And they needed a retaliatory kill. Handskin dying as well, actually, to Insania. That's the Black Hole now gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one that he held.
Okay.
It's just, I think it's so much better for him than it is for, like, it's better for the Rubik to have hole than it is for the Enigma. Because the Enigma, I feel like it's impossible for him to get it off. And now it's 2.5, 1.6. I think that's...
Even that, I would say Alliance should, you know, Alliance.
Like that 12-1 I saw earlier, I think is more accurate.
Nico B right now, he's going to have his level 3 ulti, by the way, after this creep wave, and he's just pushing into the victory. He did not get the cycle dodge, and all these hits are for free. There's the Yules, he's just dead. Nico Baby plays him a nice ward. Placed, I believe, by Zibe there that gave him vision knowing that's going to happen. Now he's just starting the base. Insania, I don't think you can fight this. Nico, first hit, crit, Crypt Swarm attack, triple kill Nico Baby. And hey, how about a tier 3 tower 21 minutes in, it looks like.
Yeah, this game is looking wildly over right now.
Nico Baby with that casual, the Hector glove of haste there. And they will try to get the ulti down. Does the urn do enough? Oh, he gets healed, but Boxy does it. It's going to be posted because that does it on the S4. At least Boxy rolled through. The Spirit Siphon still doing damage to him, but he will roll back into the base. Do you try to take Rax? Doesn't look like it.
No, you can Roche first.
Okay.
Like, you have Roche bounty runes. There's no reason not to get all this gold, and this is going to absolutely secure you the game.
As they farm up the jungle creeps on the way there. Doesn't look like they just want to go straight into it. Yeah.
No, not really.
A little surprised by that. And look at this, Limp gonna give his bottle to Nico Baby, but...
He didn't even bottle the...
Yeah, now he just has an empty bottle in his backpack. You know, if that's the worst mistake Alliance is going to make this game, I'm sure they're okay with that, though. And it looks like they're going to go into Roche now, or are they just going top?
I thought they were going to go Roche.
Me too. Oh, and now Dyer. They scan it and they ping they're doing Roche, but actually they were just walking by.
Yeah, they know that they're either going back away from Roche or they're walking towards top. And this will confirm that they're walking towards top.
Eidolons. I'm just watching his Wraith King. Oh, so much free gold. Mickey. On this carry Slardar, he is going Hood. He went Hood first into Blink, into a BKB, so not the best scaling, as you said. They're going to get on top of someone and try to just blow him up as the A Blast slows down Roche again. But Wraith King should be fine. A Blast going away. He'll just walk in. They almost have a full Assault Cuirass on him now. Only about 300 away after this Roche. They probably will have it. Zibe sitting on the outside. And guess what? Your position 5 Winter Wyverns. He's got an item. He's got a Blink Dagger. So his positioning, he can sit very, very far back if he needs to. Bottom lane, he's thinking about maybe setting up on Box. He has the ult. You just pop it to lock him down. There it is. They will lock him down. Limp comes in. You have the Silence and the Spirit. He does have the mech and 14 wand charge. He has a lot of survivability. They're trying to make the suck last forever. He might just go down the Ewells into the Crypt Swarm. Times it perfectly. In comes the Rubik's Cube.
Oh, Hanskin.
He's a rolling. He's looking, and they will find the Razor. He doesn't even get a static link up yet. It's going to be a Silence and Limp plus Hanskin just straight up owning this. Nice Ewells off. He's alive for now. And he has got that 3 points in Storm Surge. He's trying to go away. Limp's like, I know which way you're going. He's in there. Does he throw it the correct way? He does. Well played by Limp there, and that gives him, he earned it. He gets the godlike there. Perfectly placed Crypt Swarm.
And Nikkei actually gets speared away by S4.
Oh, bye.
Okay.
Slither on away.
I think S4 actually made that harder for Nico Baby.
He's like, yo, let me farm the creeps and the heroes. I got this one. They are going to be pushing into the base now, almost level 20. He will be after one more neutral camp, so we'll get that no reincarnation mana cost, I assume. But hey, you never know. Nah, he does.
Do we have any mana?
Taking away abilities now.
No. I think the reason he goes for this is just like wasting life. As many Wraith Fire Blasts as possible.
Yeah, you just want to. You never want to have to worry about like, can I stun someone? No, you want to be able to just stun someone. They do back up. Range Drax slowly getting chunked. The AC is online now for Nico Baby. Skeleton gets shredded, but they will respawn. Oh, I believe you might just be it. Mickey's gonna try to save. Oh, goodness, the spear shatters the ice. And they're looking for the melee barracks. Nico Baby still farming up those Eidolons. The Radiants killing them slowly. And this is just gonna be a free melee racks here. 12K lead for the Alliance team. 25 minutes in here. Such a clean game, 2 and 3 from them.
Yeah, they're going to march down mid and just do the same thing over again. They've got this Aegis Wraith King with the level 3 reincarnation. So it's a 40-second cooldown. And on top of that, he has the second life from the Aegis. So they've got to deal with him 3 separate times. And we've seen how difficult it is for Liquid to even bring him down once. Don't think this is going to be a winnable position. He's going to build up the Skeleton Bros. He's got 6 charges now, grabs the tier 2, pops them.
And there it going. Guess what? Limp has his ulti as well. Silence actually goes. This might just be a straight up kill. It's going to be a spear back. Well played there. Nico Baby. Did they have vision? Yeah, they did have a little bit of vision there in that top lane. That was well done. Big shout out to Zibe with all the wards he's had. He has locked this game down for him. Nico Baby gets the last out of the tower. And it feels like we're just waiting for the inevitable GG here as Alliance. Oh, Taiga dodges. He just lost a full another Rax. And they'll just back out for now. They still have to get that tier 2 bottom. Obviously the lane pushed very far in. Boxy has done a good job of trying to push out that bottom lane, but now maybe a just 4 to 5 man on down there and think of ending the game. Hanskin gonna get the bounty runes first though. Does Nico maybe have a full Ags, by the way? No, okay. I just saw he had a point booster. He does? No, he did. He does have it. Okay, yeah, wow. Fun.
So now this is like the ultimate, like, you cannot come back into this game item for his team. Like, even the black hole will not do anything. Liquid is going to go for one last attempt, but this is into the Aegis Wraith King. This is a desperation
That's such a
attempt
sick
so that
item.
they can't go and just go for it again. But like, they're
And
gonna
they
run
just
into
see
Nico,
Nico,
baby.
man. Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, this guy still has like 5 life. This
look at him
he
go.
just crits immediately in a quick way. He needs to deal some damage, but he's just getting right quick down. He will get healed up a little. He's still laying all the damage to BKB, so he's gonna lose all his damage. They'll have a little bit of time here, possibly. No, he's throwing the crane, gets a kill. Foxy just rolling around, but you do take damage when you hit that wall. He will bounce over this time. Handskin, is he gonna get the steal? No. Oh, good job by Foxy dodging it, but in the bottom lane, it's going to be Enigma gets ulted up by the winner Wyvern. Gets to his sons, he throws out his BKB, but he doesn't want to pop that black hole. He'll just die if he does. Spear actually ends up hitting the AA. I think he meant to hit the Enigma. They'll take that. They will definitely take that
We
one.
take those, we take those. And that's going to be a tier 2 bottom tower taken.
Maybe. As they're diving the base, and they're getting another instant game.
Yeah, it's just game. They cannot win this game.
It is. I will give you an unwinnable, and there's the GG from Insania Alliance. After that game 1.
They brought it back?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure everyone will know on the forums, even us. Yo, this is, I don't know, Alliance, what's going on? And X4 says, hey, let me wake up, let me get a game to draft and just to dominate. I mean,